Another Canadian drink. We love them around here.
Hey man,
Nice.
I'll tell you what. Y'all drink some weird stuff in Canada. They can hear us, by the way.
What the intro? Nice. Let's go.
Hey, we keep it spicy. What's up, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Predcast. My camera's a little tilted, not sure why. We got another dev.
Last predecessor match. That's why.
Wait, oh, last predecessor match, bro. You magic. Give me a. But so we got another dev here with us, Demonde. We'll do our intros here in just a moment. And we're going to talk a little bit, probably a little bit more community-oriented conversations today as well. We have some exciting things that have been going on as far as like, you know, little Predmemes that we started up and whatnot. We challenged the community last week. So we're going to get into those as well as some other game changes. But let's get to our intros. Let's go ahead and do this order. If we could do Demonde, then Joey, then Bearded, and then myself. Tell people a little bit about yourself if you could.
Sure. Yeah, so hey guys, I'm Demonde. I've been working for Omeda for about 6 months now. I'm a junior game designer. I work on pretty much everything that isn't related to heroes, whereas the other guys kind of handle that a lot more. But I do some like quality of life stuff with heroes. As Bearded mentioned in his tweet, I was the one that suggested like Phase should fly when she uses her psychic glance, and a couple other things. We might get into them later, but a couple other things are like enemies being able to take Gideon portal and then becoming slowed, and then like people stepping through gadget route and becoming rooted, or gadget, it's called the gadget route, speed gate and becoming rooted if you're an enemy. A few other things like Feng Mao being able to cast his ultimate in the air. You never used to be able to do that in Paragon. And some of these are things that have been around since like V0.1, right? But this was like part of my background in internal testing, kind of helping out with these little things.
So you're the reason a Chimera chases me through a Gideon portal. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I know who to DM from now on. Okay.
I actually like that. I
Is
know
that
about it.
So go ahead, Joey.
Yeah, it's just yours surely back on the podcast. I'm just a content creator over on YouTube. I do daily upload videos where I kind of talk through all my views, kind of give you guys an idea how to play the game and all that great stuff. I also do some fun builds. So if you see a certain overload tank trimless build running around, that may have been my fault. So I apologize for that. But I also have a Twitter page where I've been trying to go beyond just using it as a content creator kind of tool, but also trying to open up a little bit about myself and kind of showing a little bit more of my personal life to you guys, because in my videos I don't really get to talk about myself, and I kind of figured Twitter's kind of a great platform to let me talk about myself a little bit more to you guys for those who are interested in that.
I didn't know this, but we got Michael Phelps on the Predcast, guys. That's great.
All right. Homie used to swim.
Right? That's awesome. Yeah, guys. Besides that TB off lane, video, I still watched it. I gave my support. But besides that video,
Been happening a lot.
last week, Joey puts out great content. So definitely go follow his Twitter and get to know him a little bit more. The guy's truly amazing. And Joey, I do want to let you know, I did my first match yesterday. I did face off a TB off lane, and I was Richter, and I owned him. So
Nice.
I was actually okay with it. Real quick, guys, on my little soapbox, get a stronger mental if you're going to play these MOBAs. Oh my gosh. I literally had too many games last week, last night, that my teammates had weak mental. They were trying to forfeit in 3 minutes in. Like, what are you doing? We had somebody that literally just DC'd because they went 0-3-0. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, it was rough matches last night. F6 was a part of it. Sam was a part of it. They can tell you all about it. It was bad. So yeah, get a stronger mental. Go to the gym, work out your mental, get it stronger, get beefed up, and then come back and play.
No, actually, about that. I will say, I started gaining a lot more LP, winning a lot more in League of Legends when I started going to the gym every day. And that's
Oh,
for
shot.
Nice.
There you go.
Hey man, that shit clears your head.
I told you,
True.
touch grass by lifting weights. So, all right, there you guys. All right, What's going on, everybody? Is I, the BeardedWolverine, your Michigan Wonder. Excited to be here and excited to have Demonde with us. This is going to be a great conversation. You guys don't know all what he actually is got his hands into. I'm excited to get into it. But before we do that, we got to let you guys know that I am back on track with my YouTube content creation. I'm putting some shorts out there and my TikTok. So make sure you follow me over on those platforms as well. I'm trying to get back in there. I've gotten some TikTok, for those of you who don't know, TikTok allows you to schedule TikToks now. Before, you couldn't schedule them. So now you can schedule them. You can still get great. You can still put out your content and schedule them beforehand. So that's also another reason why I'm getting back into the content creation side there. So yeah, make sure you follow me over there. And we're going to keep streaming live on Kick as well. But let's talk Windu for a minute.
Spicy, bro. I'll be honest with you. I didn't know that TikTok shit. That's actually dope. I'm going to have to do that a little bit more. I've been literally waiting till the day to post. But what's up, guys? I am Windu, also known as Windu the Mace. I mainly do predecessor content as of late on the gaming channel. I do have a little Star Wars channel that I post stuff here and there, as well as a car channel. But officially full-time YouTube, I feel like I need to say that a little bit more consistently because I feel like too many people still don't know that I'm on the YouTube side. I still get people asking me, like sending me DMs on Discord, like, when you going live on Twitch? I'm like, bro, I haven't been there in like a month and a half. You go to my Twitch, it literally has one video that says look on YouTube. So I don't know, but we appreciate everybody being here. Again, this is the Predcast. We predominantly talk about predecessor, current changes, updates, etc., but we try to keep it as predecessor oriented as possible, even though we will bring up other MOBAs in comparison at times. Now we're actually gonna kind of kick off with a little bit of Demonde. Bro, I kind of want to ask you just real quick right off the bat, how long have you been with Omeda, like helping on the game?
Helping out since summer of 2020, so like July 2020. Yeah, I've been around for a really long time.
Nice.
Not like beginning, but yeah, like right around there. Real quick though, did you say you have a car channel?
Yes, I love cars.
That is awesome.
I got a 1990 300 ZX parked outside. Not that many people know what that car is. It's a Nissan.
I don't know what that car is, and I'm pretty into cars.
Google it. You'll see it. It's lit.
Just an alphabet car. No big deal.
No, that's sick. My first car was a 1967 Mustang.
A Mustang?
Yeah.
Shelby?
No, not a Shelby GT. Just
Shelby?
It was.
Okay. Wow.
It was.
That is my dream car. Shelby GT. I don't care if it's a 350 to 500. I don't care. That doesn't bother me because it'll get up to do 60 miles or my 80 miles per hour that I need to do. But that is my dream car. Eleanor is it. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was a 302 8-cylinder. So, and actually, when I bought it, it was a 6-cylinder, right, an inline 6, with like a 3-speed tranny and like it was like a non-posi diff, so it didn't have like a diff lock. It's been a while, but yeah, basically we swapped out the diff, the entire exhaust system, the engine swapped to an 8-cylinder, and put a 4-speed transmission in it. So
spicy. Yeah. Now I don't want to get
cool.
I was gonna say I don't want to get too deep into cars because you and I will sit here and just talk for hours on cars.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm definitely gonna DM you right after this. Now, tell me. Oh, go ahead. You got something?
Go ahead, Beardy. Let's jump right into your early on. Yeah. We got Medkit in chat, so I know Medkit loves Paragon. I'm assuming, and I could be wrong, but did you actually play Paragon? You know, did you go up against Ace and get destroyed in Ace in a tournament or something like that? Like, you know, what is your story? What is your Paragon story?
Yeah, for sure. So I'll actually just start it with the game I was playing before Paragon because it kind of led into that. So I started playing games competitively with Destiny 1 on the PS4, and the competitive Destiny back then was like Trials of Osiris and like raid, like competition raiding. And I had a clan. We did Trials competition raiding. We were at the top of Trials. We competed in every raid race, but I mean we were a bunch of kids that had to go to school full time. We never really were able to win, unfortunately. But anyway. That game kind of fell off. The devs made some questionable decisions, and things kind of went downhill. And we started looking for something else to play. And some people went to Diablo, and some people went to like COD. But I found Paragon, and just scrolling through PSN one day, downloaded it, played it. This was like V40, I think. Paragon V40, And I mean, it was like nothing I'd ever played. I was actually mind blown. I was mind blown by the visual fidelity. I was mind blown by like this to me, right? Because I was a raider. I was an MMO player, essentially what Destiny was. It was like playing a 5-man raid versus another team also playing a 5-man raid against you. Like that's like what the strategy was. It was like you have your roles and you have to succeed in these roles as a team to win. Because I didn't play League, right? I didn't play Smite or Dota. I was completely new to this genre. I absolutely loved it. And I played V41 or V40 and V41 quite a bit, and then they completely changed the game to V42. And like, I think everyone hated it from what I remember, but I loved it. Like I was like,
But I said, Bearded's with you.
Like this was hard to understand for me, and then it wasn't. I was like, oh, cool. Like it's simple to like. Don't get me wrong. I disagreed with like the way you had to like flip cards out of loot boxes and like collect your cards, collect your gems. I didn't have a lifesteal gem for like 3 or 4 months. Same with multi-shot. Didn't have one of those for like 3 or 4 months, and that was pretty disgusting. But whatever. Anyway, loved the game. Played it all throughout the end of high school. Started like working. I worked at a hospital for a while. And yeah, I remember the day that Paragon shut down. I was like just on my phone in the elevator at the hospital. I read the email that Epic sent everybody, and I honestly just cried in the elevator. I was like, damn, like that's it. Because I wanted to find people, find a team. Like I was getting better, climbing through the ranks of just the Agora ladder. Broke into the top 1,000. And I was like, okay, like I can do something here. I could go somewhere. And then the game just died. And that was a sad day for everyone, I think.
It was rough,
so
bro.
a little peel behind the curtain. Before even Joey and Windu got there, we're sitting here in the Zoom call waiting for the show to start. And me and Demonde here, and Demonde's like, hey, I don't really know your background, Paragon. And he asked me my background. He sat there and listened to me tell him the exact same story that he just told you guys, and didn't say anything to me. I didn't know that we pretty much started in the exact same spot and enjoyed the 3-card system, loot boxes and all. Like literally, I was just like, I feel like I'm in a playback of what I just told him. So yeah, no, we literally have pretty much the same situation. That's great. So again, like I said, Medkits in chat, who your favorite Paragon hero and your least favorite to go up against?
favorite hero would be Wukong.
You're trolling, bro.
All right, I need another dev. Another dev. Somebody give me another dev to get out here real quick. We're gonna swap this guy out.
I knew I was gonna get that kind of a reception, which is fair, right? But yeah, no, I love the trickster style in the 3D space. Funnily enough, I don't like the trickster style in the 2D space, right? I would never play Shaco in League. I just wouldn't. But yeah, like just the ability to, especially there was that update, I think it was V44, they opened the skybox, which essentially meant like if you could jump over a wall, you could. There was no invisible walls anywhere. And Wukong just like thrived in that patch. Granted, he was broken at the start of it, and his clones did 3 times damage, and I ended a game in about 4.5 minutes. That was weird. But they quickly disabled Wukong for a couple of days or whatever until he got fixed. I think those were
multiple times
or something.
Yeah.
But least favorite, absolutely against Scorch. I can't stand it. Can't stand turret champs.
Yes.
There you go. Did I win back your trust, Bearded?
Mine, not Windows.
Bro, my dude said he loves Wukong and hates Iggy. Bro, Control Alt Delete. Oh, what do you got against Iggy, bro? I gotta hear this.
Is it Iggy? Iggy is your first mastery, was that right?
Iggy was my first mastery back in the Legacy days, back when Tank Iggy was a thing.
No, and you know what? I actually played for fun, right? I played phase Iggy lanes, and you could like get hyperflux by phase to drop your cooldowns and just go nuts. It's a fun gimmick, but I think what it does, I really dislike what turret champions do to the competitive space. Basically, I hate having something that can sit in a lane and just aim at something and just hit it for you.
Like, the cheese of it.
Yeah, just like no. I can't stand that. Now, thankfully, again, I'm not the one that deals with heroes, so I can say that, and it's not going to change what happens.
Although this is the guy that got the elevation lifted for phase. You can follow Gideon's teleport. I have no effect on heroes, but
well, I'll put it this way, right? There's a lot of things that get suggested that don't make it in, right? These are
there
the
we
ones.
go. Hey. Can't shoot. What? You miss every shot you don't take. Whatever, is that what it is?
Yeah, it's a Wayne Gretzky quote. Yeah.
There you go. So the Canadian would know that it's a Wayne Gretzky quote.
Exactly.
All right. So that's your Paragon background. Yeah. So now, what did you do in between that time?
Yep. So
from predecessor to now, I guess is what I'm saying. That time there when it closed down.
From Paragon to predecessor.
What happened from there? Yeah, Paragon and predecessor. My bad.
Yeah. So cried in the elevator, and then like I had intended, right? What I wanted to do was like go pro with Paragon, right? I wanted it to succeed. I wanted it to foster a pro scene. I wanted to be part of that. And that wasn't going to happen. So I sat there for a while. I tried Smite. I played 50 hours of Smite Conquest maybe, and I was just like, I just can't play the game. Like I can't do it. Yeah, it was like playing a 2-dimensional game in 3 dimensions. It was just it was hard to do, and especially with like the graphical downgrade, it was pretty tough coming from Paragon. You really want things to just be beautiful and majestic, and they're just not. So it's tough. And then I played Heroes of the Storm. I played it for quite a bit. I think I put like 1,000 hours into Heroes of the Storm. I had a blast with that game. I loved the different map gimmicks and all that stuff. And I loved, I actually loved the way your team shares XP. I thought that was like a really cool way to handle, like somebody gets behind, somebody's not as good. That's okay because, your team shares XP, everybody levels up together. But yeah, then I, fortunately and unfortunately, stumbled upon League of Legends. And I probably have about 10,000 hours in League now.
No.
So yeah, that was my dream then. Once I found that, I was like, I want to, go pro, join the LCS in League of Legends. That's what I had thought when I was like an 18-year-old or whatever. Which might be naive, right? Thinking that, but granted, I played Destiny at the highest level. I played Rainbow Six, Season 1 at the highest ranked level. I played Overwatch to Grandmaster in Season 1 and 2. So I was like, I can probably do this, right? Like, I'm a competitive gamer. Like, I can do this. But League is a different beast, let me tell you. Like,
for sure.
You were in the trenches, man, when you play that game ranked. Like, it's hard. And I still struggle with the control scheme today because I am a console gamer, right? I came from console. That's what I did. I wasn't like a StarCraft player or a Warcraft 3 player, like you had mentioned earlier. So yeah, it was very difficult. But what League of Legends did was it taught me all of the fundamentals of like what a MOBA, what the genre has to offer in that sense. And while I don't want to create like a League clone, I do think that there is a lot of things like when you design something for a MOBA, you have to look at what League does, and I think you have to look at what Dota does. And I did put a few hundred hours into Dota, but that game is extremely complicated to understand, and it actually just like melts my brain when I try to figure it out. So yeah, then obviously, I went to university for electrical engineering, and I got 3 years through that degree, and then I was like just chilling on my laptop in my bed one day, and I clicked on a link or something, and I saw Predecessor. I was like, what is this? And it was like Smokey, Ace, Fringe, like making a game. Game's supposed to like revive Paragon. I'm like, okay, this is neat. Joined the Discord, started talking to people. Found out that there's going to be like the tests, right? Those 3 weekends, if you guys remember those.
Mm-hmm.
And then Fault was also happening sometime around then, I think. And I played both games, and I was like, yeah, like this is like Pred is like really good. For what it's trying to be. I mean, don't get me wrong, like compared to where we are now, it is horrible, but it was really good at the time. So I just, hung around, offered my input from the League of Legends background that I had, saying like, hey, these items don't make sense. Like some of the hero kits like could use different things to make them more cohesive. And I'd use League examples. I'd be like, this is kind of what League would do here. And then just started talking with the devs and joined internal testing in that summer. And then, I met Horst. Huge shout out to Horst. He ran the department at the time. He still does run the department. And, I was there for a year and just every day playing games, giving feedback, trying to make the game the best it could be. And eventually I ended up co-leading internal testing with him. I was the North American lead. He was the European lead, because the server when we started was like 25 people. But then it grew and grew and grew to like a couple hundred, 200 or 300, maybe more. We saw a couple, or you guys would have saw a couple of times that we posted recruitment forums, right? For people to sign up. Collecting feedback, giving feedback, all this stuff, running sessions. And then I started creating a design portfolio, right? And initially it was a lot of champions. I would take League champions that were like old and kind of depreciated, like that haven't been touched in a while, like Ashe or Nocturne. And I would just like rewrite the kit. I'd be like, hey, this is what this champion would look like if it came out in 2023, with the references of all the kits that League drop in 2023. And I guess Blood liked it, and some of the other people liked it, and had further talks. And I was one of the only people that was like extremely familiar with console that kind of could fit the role, whereas most people like were less familiar. And given my Destiny and like MMO-esque background, I played a lot of Elder Scrolls Online as well. They wanted me to come on and look at some systems for a game, right? Like progression systems, a little bit of monetization, not too much into that, but progression systems mainly, which encompass kind of a lot. I'll let you take it from there.
A lot, bro.
Yeah.
Yes. That was a really kind of cool breakdown, and it's actually kind of really funny too, because your kind of beginning sounds very familiar to mine, because I used to be a huge old Destiny 1 OG fan, kind of hated what Bungie did with the second game and all that stuff. But yeah, I came from Destiny, and then I found the game on the PlayStation Store free for months, and that's how I got into like console Paragon for the first time. And especially when this shut down, I tried to do League, and I just hate the whole top down and not looking as pretty, right? So I think it's really kind of cool to hear more people coming back from very similar backgrounds from like the console side for Paragon.
No, it's super cool that you mentioned Destiny 1. That's actually one of the things that kind of led me to design. Is I used to actually design. Do you remember if you played Destiny 1, they would release like Vaulted Glass or Crota's End, and then they would release a hard mode?
Yeah, that would be like hardcore way, yeah.
Yeah, and that would be like a month after. I would like on paper write out what I think the hard mode raid should be. Like I would design raids, right? Just on paper, because that's all I could do. And my dream back then was to work for Bungie. Like I really wanted to work for Bungie, but it kind of went downhill, unfortunately. Yeah. I'm not sure why.
So you always love like just conceptually creating your own stuff. Like you see how people are doing it, and you're like, I'm gonna take this and see if I can improve on it, or just go a different direction that I think is really cool. Yeah. So it's like it wasn't like when you got into mobile, you were doing that before you even became familiar with mobiles in the first place.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so your junior game designer is your title with Omeda, right? So obviously that means you're working under like the senior game designer, which is Blood Mortius, correct?
Yep.
What is it like being an up and coming dev and working with the team of Omeda?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I would say that like, so in Omeda specifically, we have like a very positive environment. But I also can't speak to any other studio because this is my first one. So
right.
Yeah. But like Blood will kind of talk about, the things he's working on or the champions that he's making or these things. And then I will have my chance, as will everybody else, but I'll have my chance to give my input. But given I'm not huge into heroes, I would say that relationship probably isn't how you would imagine it to be. It's not like he is giving me things to do and I am doing those things. It's more like he is designing his features, and then I get to give my junior level input on those features. And sometimes phase flies, and sometimes nothing happens, right? That's kind of how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you earlier when you're in your introduction, you were talking about like Gideon enemies able to go through Gideon's portal, and certain things that these are things that you did. What's the word before? You gave those ideas up, suggestions. Thank you. You gave those suggestions up while you were just in IT, like you were internal testing. You weren't a dev at that time. You were just internal testing, correct?
Yeah.
So. But the phase one, that one was you were a dev at that time, correct?
Yeah, that was. I think that's the first change that I've made to a live hero as an official dev. Yeah.
Okay.
Before that, it was like the big one that I pushed all through IT was being able to trigger Fang Mao's ultimate while you're in the air, because you couldn't do that before. You'd have to wait till you hit the ground, then you could ult.
No, that's a great one. That's a great fix. Great change in my opinion, because it adds to the 3D element of the game. It just works to it. That Z axis, utilizing that. It's not something that you're as big as Klari jumping over walls or whatever. In that situation, it's not like that huge of a Z axis, but it's still utilizing the Z axis. So that's great. What your boy Wukong? I know you don't have anything to do with heroes. If you have a suggestion, I want to know, like right now, what would be your suggestion for Wukong bringing into Pred?
Yeah, we can get into that because I've thought a lot about that.
I figured you did.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so I think we can all agree that having passive clones is probably not okay. For the reasons being like, okay, if you have passive clones and you're hitting towers, then they probably still spawn, but you can't make them not damage towers because then what's the point? It's just kind of dumb. So no passive in my mind, right? And again, I don't do heroes, so this is just in my mind. I would do no passive clones. I would make it a true stat switcher, not what it was. What it was it had a stat switching button and a passive ultimate, which is really weird. So I would make it have 6 unique abilities that have separate cooldowns, and the ultimate switches the stats, and you have 1 point in the ultimate from level 1. So you start, you can always switch stances, and then those things have split cooldowns. In Paragon, that wasn't the case. If I pushed somebody with my staff and then switched stances, my staff leap would be on cooldown, which I don't think is okay, right? I think a stance switcher should be about how you give up your ultimate. You have 6 abilities, they share cooldowns. You have to manage swapping the stances in the right times and the right places to get yourself in and out of situations.
Okay. I don't think I have the skill to play that character that you just described, but I like that character in the sense that it's just not going to be a broken hero that's going to get taken out of the game all the time. There'd be a lot. The skill base would be really a skill ceiling on that, or no, floor on that would be really high, I think, with that hero. But it's definitely an interesting idea and kit with that. And it works out to what Predecessor is doing. You obviously with Greystone, Greystone was just recently released, and he in Paragon had a passive ultimate, and now here Predecessor took that passive ultimate away and made it an active instead. His kit's very similar, but it's an active, and it makes it just adds a little more skill to it. You're talking about adding a lot more skill to it, which I don't disagree, or I mean, it's something interesting for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I think kind of what the essence of Wukong is, right, is I'm not sure if this is a thing that would be competitively picked a lot, or I don't really know, but I know that it would definitely be a good hero that's like a one trick, right, where it's like a lot of people, very few people could get like really, really good with this champ, but the ones that are good with it are really good with it, and they like really love it and can create some pretty insane plays, like given that they have 6 abilities to play with. Consequently, just real quick. Consequently, I have read Journey to the West, which is the Chinese folklore book where Wukong comes from, just because I wanted to understand like what are the abilities you could give him, right, that are like lore accurate. And some things he does in the book
Shout out
are
to
he
you.
shrinks himself and grows himself, like in size, physical size, all the time. He can walk on clouds, and he can create clones. So I would want to keep clones, but I would want to keep it to an active.
All right. All right. I like it.
Yeah,
All right.
so
Go ahead, Joey.
essentially, I guess you could say for general how you want to see Wukong being brought back. We say that you kind of want to see him still be that split push if he wants to be, but it sounds like you want, with having like 6 different abilities, it will be making push him more towards someone that can actually team fight if he can actually pull off his like combos really, really well.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, again, just to throw a massive caveat on it, I don't do any of that. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. But I think it'll be really cool. We can see stance switcher. I mean, like other MOBAs might league have like kind of stance switchers, right? So eventually we want to have our own stance switcher. And so like based on kind of like the kit that Wukong has and kind of like the pattern we see how you guys brought back keywords, just trying to stay within the kit's theme. I think Wukong is definitely a very good contender for a stance switcher, right? So it'd be very cool to see what you guys cook up with Wukong when he does come to life.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I will main it regardless of what blood does with that character.
There we go. All right. You have a controller sitting next to you.
Yes.
Are you gonna go back to controller? That's what I want to know.
Do you currently
Like, are you gonna go back?
controller?
Are you gonna go back to console? Let me put it that way. Once it comes out on console, are we gonna see Demonde sign in on that PlayStation and be like, "Bro, I got Discord on PlayStation now. Life is good. Like, good luck."
Absolutely. Okay, so I forgot to mention this. I'm like a big. I hunt trophies. Okay, on PSN.
There you
A
go.
lot, right? I got like
Platinum,
30,
yeah.
I got like 37 platinums or something like that. Like it's not crazy, but
No, not at all. No.
Not at all.
Let me show you my whole 0 platinums. Would disagree with you.
yeah. So point is, right, that this is one of the things that I've designed for console is the trophy system. So this is my design, and I'm seeing that through. And I want to be the first one to have my own platinum because it's my platinum, right?
All right.
Yeah.
So you're talking that console and that situation. Is that something that Sony is saying is essential for the game to come out? Do you need a platinum thing for PlayStation for us to be released on PlayStation?
Oh yeah, every game needs a platinum. They have since late PS3 cycle before PS4. Yeah, every game absolutely needs a platinum.
All right. So you're working on something that's truly, needed in this situation. So, all right.
Can you give us an example?
Exactly. As I say, can you give us any hints or examples
Okay.
of what something might be for it?
Give us like a mid-tier example. Nothing too crazy.
I mean, okay, yeah. I'll just give you one. Right now, here's the caveat: AI games count for these trophies. Okay.
Okay.
Fair.
Getting a pentakill will be a trophy.
Oh,
Okay, I can see that.
yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I mean, I could only do it in AI games, but yeah, that's fine.
And
I'm happy that AI games count because I wouldn't be able to get a trophy. All right.
yeah. So
There
the
we go.
design intention there was, we know that not everybody is going to play AI games, right? So we want everybody to be able to grind the platinum, right? You wouldn't want to gate something like that to be like, you have to be a god tier player to pull this platinum off. But in the same sense, for people that don't play player versus AI games, if they see that trophy pop after they get a platinum, after they get a penta, I mean, that's going to mean something, right?
Yeah, for sure. Now I'm curious. Are you the type that likes those hidden trophies? Like you're gonna have to like Google and be like, "Fuck, bro, I'm missing a trophy," and I see the description. What the fuck does that mean? Like, kind of have community involved, kind of trying to hunt those trophies, or are you more of the, hey, just lay down the list, I'll work my way down the list?
So I love Easter eggs and I love ARGs, but I don't love them in my trophy system. So probably not in the trophy system.
Okay, fair. I can see it.
Yeah, so Destiny actually did this thing for their last raid in Destiny 1, Wrath of the Machine, where they had their players scour across like different web pages and stuff like that to find codes that you could use within the raid. There were actual computer like a computer. There were computer terminals in the raid itself, and you could enter codes on these terminals by like standing on this giant grid of buttons somewhere. Everybody knew it was a puzzle, right? But nobody knew how to solve it, and they had to like scour the internet and go through this like big process to figure out how to unlock this thing. And once they did, like it unlocked an exotic weapon that was exclusive to that puzzle, and that would be like an ARG. Now I think those are super cool. I don't know how you would do that in a MOBA, but yeah, something I would do, but yeah, not in the trophy system.
I would think to way to do something like that in a MOBA, and it's only I mean, it's not something that's easy to do. It'd be really hard to do, but it would be almost like, and almost really maybe only on ADCs, but like hitting for a cycle in a sense. I'm bringing baseball term into that. You know, you get your single kill, and then you get a double kill, and then you get a triple kill, and then you get a quadra kill, and then you get a pentakill. You know, doing all of that in one game, which almost nearly impossible. But if you did get that, that would be something that I think I don't know, again, you maybe unlock, you know, the golden clubs for Grux or something like that, you know, whatever, you know, that would be something you're able to get out of there. But
Bro, who do we have to talk to get like a Nuketown mannequins Easter egg in here? Like, you get me? Like, get like shoot every statue in the first 5 minutes of the like every statue in the game in the first 5 minutes, and then a random song will start playing or some bullshit like that. You're probably throwing if you do it, but it's a cool thing to do, right?
Yeah. So, what I will say is I do have a completely unpitched plan, right? So I haven't discussed this with anybody yet. It's only in my head.
Breaking on Predcast right here, guys.
No, but I have an unpitched plan to put an Easter egg in the main menu somewhere, right? That's all I'll say. But I do have it.
Well, okay, we don't want to have that on there yet. Okay, so you're a console gamer. You're working on the trophy system. Are you also working on controller layout and all that stuff with PlayStation going forward?
Yes, sir.
And PlayStation, are you working with it with the other consoles as well? Or are you only working with PlayStation?
I'm only working with PlayStation right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, Xbox is obviously always a consideration. It's always like, hey, when we're designing these things, like, think about Xbox. Right now, it's like, no, the Paragon player base is on PlayStation, right? Like, PlayStation is the priority for now. I think that, yeah, okay. Everybody, yeah, and I'm sure Ace has stated that as well before. Like, it's a known thing. It's not.
Yes. Yeah, he stated that Xbox is just further in the future. That's really what it comes out to. PlayStation's coming up, Xbox coming up later. Now, when it comes to working with controller and getting things set up, obviously controller is already compatible with the PC version. But when getting it set up for PlayStation and getting it ready, what kind of let us know what you can or can't say, obviously, but like what all goes into that development side of it?
Yeah. So, have you seen the wish list page on our PS5, like on the PS5 store, like our predecessor wish list page?
I saw it, but I didn't read it.
Okay.
You know, like I was like, okay, go to the page, click, I'm out. Like, I already know the game. What I miss?
So are you guys familiar with haptic vibration, like advanced haptic vibration and adaptive triggers?
Yeah.
That's it. That controller revolutionized gaming with all that stuff, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So we have so on our page there, it says like those are listed as features, right? So like those are part of my job. So making sure every character has haptics on the controller, unique haptics for each ability on the controller, like that's literally my job. You know?
No, like we're gonna get like for example, how Call of Duty has different recoil and different trigger pull feel per gun. We might get like different auto attacks feelings on the triggers.
Yeah, so that's a harder one because we're not a shooter. So,
yeah. How to like translate that feel of a Grux club versus a Murdoch shotgun. Yeah.
Now you said haptics. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Haptic. So I said haptics specifically. Like triggers are another topic.
Right.
Because it's gonna be difficult. Like obviously I'm looking into it. It's part of what I'm doing, but it is gonna be difficult. Like there's only one clear cut example of a trigger that you could use in our game, and that would be like Bellica's Burst. Like that one would be very distinct and unique to others, obviously, because it's a triple shot. But yeah, the haptics are kind of more what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the actual vibrations and such.
Yeah.
So I mean, so for people who don't know what haptics is, can you explain that? Asking for a friend.
Yeah, for sure. So, do you have do either of you have a PS5, by the way?
No. I spent my money on this PC right here. That's what I got.
Okay. Well, the PS5 it launches. It had a launch title that came with the console called Astro's Playroom.
Amazing.
I recommend everybody to play that. Right.
That's a really cool one.
So you can essentially, right, when you're running through the sand in the game, and this is going to sound weird if you've never felt it, but you can feel the sand in your hands. And when you're sliding on ice, you can feel the ice in your hands.
Oh,
and when you're
nice.
swimming, you can feel water in your hands. It's insane, right? To imagine that, but yeah, it is the case. So I'll give you a predecessor example from like something I've been working on. Do you know when Narbash casts his ultimate, right? And it's like bang, right? So you can feel that on each side of the controller as you're hitting it, right? So it's like left, right, yeah, left, right, left, and then all of it. And it kind of vibrates through the controller as you do that. Now that's probably the most complex example I have.
Now, you only feel that if you're Narbash, or do you feel that if you're going against Narbash?
Currently, you only feel the abilities you're casting.
Okay.
I don't know if I can implement haptics on the receiving end. I'm not sure of that yet. That's kind of out of scope for what I'm working on now. But yeah, like I've been working on these haptics for like quite a long time, because they take a long time, right? To get them right.
Tune in, yeah.
Yeah, but they feel insane. Like every time I play, like just in the editor when I'm playing and I'm making them and stuff, I'm just like, I can't wait for people to feel this because it's so cool. And I feel like I've played a lot of games on my PS5, and I don't think a lot of studios take advantage of this feature to the fullest extent of what you can do.
That's an amazing point.
That's gonna make the game feel more immersive than I ever even planned on getting into. Shout out to one of our fellow gamers, Viking Jedi. He used to be on For the Minions, and he always talk about a button being fun to push. And I think that's going to make these buttons more fun to push. Just by, even if it doesn't really do much, you still get that haptics playback or whatever. That's going to be great. That's huge.
Yep. And then so that would be like kind of one of the extreme examples, right? That would be like one of the powerful ability examples, one that's going to shake you a lot and you're going to really feel it a lot. And I'll give you kind of one of the more subtle examples. And I'm trying to do everything, right? Like I don't want to leave out abilities that aren't grandiose. But so for example, you're familiar with Drongo's gag grenade, right?
Yes.
So for the targeting for the gag grenade, you pull the pin out of the grenade. That's all you do. You just pull the pin. It's just cling.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can hold it there. So with the haptic, you'll just feel this tiny little cling, like you're just pulling the pin out of a grenade, and then you just put it back, right? Like if you don't throw it, you just put it back.
But those are subtle details that people are gonna go nuts over, bro.
I hope so. Yeah, that's my hope, right? Because I don't know.
I mean,
bro, just hearing it, I want to play this shit on PlayStation now. Just hearing that shit, to be real with you.
I pay really close attention to a lot that's going on with this game, right? And well, hell, we got a show talking about the state of this game, and this is the first time hearing about this. This it gets me excited, and if it's getting me excited, and I don't really have any intentions of getting a PS5. I mean, you're piquing my interest now with this information, but like this, I think this has got to get a lot of people excited. Like this is good information. Like the fact that you guys are planning this far ahead, and this is information we're getting. Like I love the fact that we're getting you devs that wanting to come on here and discuss this stuff with us, because this is great information. this is going to be a YouTube short here shortly. You know, after this episode, we're going to make this one on here, and where people are going to be watching this one. That's great. Great information,
bro. And I'll tell you what, I'm with you 100%, Demonde, because even though the PS5 has been out for a minute, and I got mine as soon as I could get my hands on one, right? Because that shit was nuts. But the haptics on the capabilities on there are like life-changing if you've never tried it, for anybody out there. Like, I kid you not, that might sound some like extra shit, but it literally, like, you try it and you're like, bro, this is what gaming all the time could be like. This shit is dope. And so many games that have come out on PS5 even till this day don't use it to the fullest. Like, sure, you know, like you might get God of War swinging his axe a little bit here and there in some cinematic scenes and whatnot, but it really isn't used to the max. And having that element in a competitive game, that shit is gonna be so sick, bro. I'm like, I kid you not, I literally want to go already on console. I know it's not there, but I want to go on console and just try everything. And I might literally just be like, you know what? Fuck it. Today's a console day. We want to play. I want to use a haptic, bro. YOLO. I'm gonna do support only. Let's go. Narbash only all day today. Try me. Like, it's gonna be awesome. I'm actually super excited for that, and I'm glad that you brought it up, bro. I had no idea that shit was even coming.
Yeah, me too. I think.
I'm very excited. You go ahead.
Yeah, that's just really cool to hear, because I think it just makes the gameplay just a lot more fun and immersive. And I mean, console players are all about just having fun at the end of the day. Not to say that PC don't do that too, but console is definitely more like for. I guess you could say I start off casually because I started on console first and move on PC. So definitely getting that immersion and then just doing something really kind of unique that no other mobiles are really doing. I think that's just really spicy, and I look forward to how is that implemented.
Like you chose a word there, Joey. Spicy.
Spice.
Spice.
Go ahead, Demonde.
Yeah, sorry, I was just say real quick that haptics are definitely like the feature that I am most excited about, most proud of. It's like, yeah, like I can't wait. I wish I could just send you all a controller through the cam and just be like, yo, feel this, because it's super cool. But yeah, definitely.
Where do I plug in, bro? Where do I plug in? Tell me.
Yeah, what I was going to. Oh, you got the purple one too. That's sick.
Yeah.
What I was going to say was, you can experience these, by the way, on PC. Like not with Pred, or maybe with Pred. I don't know. Like that's not really my deal. But Jedi Fallen Order, I think it's called, or Survivor, maybe the new one.
The new one, Survivor.
Yeah. That has triggers, I believe. So if you plug your DualSense into your PC and you have that game, you can feel the stuff. There's actually a list as well I could send to you guys of games that if you plug your DualSense into your PC can give you those features.
Already DM'd you.
All right. Dang, we're already an hour in, and we haven't even touched half of the things that he said he works on. So we're gonna speed this up a little bit, but we can still I mean, if this is the whole show, I'm okay with it, because this is great stuff. Another thing you said you work on, and I'm assuming maybe it's console side or if it's overall side, let me know. But you said you're working on mastery. All right. Yeah. And that's one thing that we as a community, we've been begging for, is a retention system, and mastery is one of them. So that's a big topic. So lay it on me. What are your hands in with mastery? What are you doing? What's going on?
For sure. Yeah. So this one's a little bit, I got to be a little bit more careful here. So I just think about,
understand.
Think about what I say a little bit more. So I guess I'll hit you with the biggest thing that I know that I can say, and that is that mastery skins will be a part of the mastery system in some form, right? So like the skins will be in the system. How that will be, I'm not sure yet. I can't say yet, whatever. But yeah, so like everybody's been like clamoring for like mastery skins coming back to the game. They'll come back to the game. So don't worry about that. But I think some things I can say are like, I plan on tying some mastery system flair stuff, because it's all about showing off, like, what is the mastery system, right? It's all about showing off your experience and your essentially your mastery of the characters, like the amount of time that you've put in, your investment, right, to that character, and how much you love them and want to main them. So definitely we'll have like loading screen elements that I plan on adding. So right on the loading screen, you'll be able to tell how much effort somebody has put into the hero that they're playing. I guess if they choose, right? It's always got to be an opt-in thing. You wouldn't want people to be forced into that. And then just trying to think about this. Yeah, so are you familiar with how League does mastery?
No.
Okay. So
I played like 6 games of League, and I don't like top down. If it's top down, I don't play it.
The way League does mastery is you have a number, 1 to 7, that is your mastery. You play games. Once you hit 5, you have to start performing really, really well in these games to keep leveling your mastery up to 7. Once you hit 7, that's it. So
okay.
I'm not.
Hold up. Sorry, I'm going to cut you off there because of that. All right, and then maybe you're going to explain that a little further here, but like that's interesting to me because with false mastery, it literally was just time played. So you literally could be, like Windu and not good at the game, and as long as you play that character a lot, you'll just get the mastery. And
I hate him.
So I mean, which is okay, but like you get into the games. Oh man, this guy's got mastery. He's really good. And then you play against him. It's all right. No, it's just Windu. We're good.
Yeah, that happened a lot in the Paragon days too. It'd be like mastery skin. That doesn't mean he's good though. That just means
So with what you're saying with League of Legends, you don't have that situation necessarily because once you get to level 5, you have to actually do good to get level 7. And then you were getting ready to say, and I'm sorry for cutting you off. So
no,
that's
you're
what
good. I was getting ready to say. Like one, I do like to be sorry, got some in my throat. I do like that system in terms of I want to be able to say, hey, I have played. Oh my god, some water.
There you go, bro. Drink some water. So, really quick, let me ask Joey. In the meantime, we just kind of give you a little bit of a second there because you've been talking for a bit.
Sorry. I don't talk this much.
Nah, you're good, bro. You're good. So, Joey, let me ask you because we've all come from console here, basically, right? And Odo in the chat is wondering about specific settings as far as, fine tuning. Do you think a game like Predecessor might need like a lot of fine tuning, like as far as like settings and such?
Because like the big thing is like the controller works fine on Predecessor PC. You can plug in and play. But for me, coming back from other like shooter games, like at one point I was super into Paladins, and that was like where you could really customize your controller. You can do gyro, you can do turn acceleration, you can do all that stuff, right? And so kind of like where controller settings are right now, Predecessor is so kind of bare bones in the sense that you can't really customize it right now. Like right now, there's only one kind of sensitivity for like kind of looking around, right? And kind of like commenting in shooter games is like after a brief delay, there's like say where you can do sensitivity acceleration. Well, after like let's say I want to look right, instead of being only 6 sensitivity looking right, if I have turn acceleration turned on, it jumps to like a 9 or 10 after a little bit, right? So it kind of makes helping to do the 180 turn around, look around much faster, right? And so like stuff like that Predecessor doesn't have at the moment. So I'm definitely very keen in seeing some of these more like specific sayings making it into like the console for Predecessor, because right now like it's really hard to fine tune your saying exactly how you want to. And I think definitely I want to see that some stuff like the turn acceleration, and I think even gyro too, like definitely for if you're playing ADC, gyro aiming, I think it's gonna make the aiming experience really, really good on Predecessor if it's done right.
Oh, for sure. You were talking about gyro aiming on controller?
Yeah, like with the controller.
I know, I'm familiar with it. CSGO has it, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I didn't know you can plug in the controller for CSGO, but essentially gyro aiming, for those who don't know, essentially you can move your camera by moving your controller around. So like in Paladins, I pretty much reached the Grandmasters in Paladins purely. You know what's funny? I reached Grandmasters on Paladins with a Nintendo Switch controller. Like, no joke, like... I got to Grandmasters using this. And it's purely because I was using gyro aiming, because I was able to really adjust my aiming very, very precisely with just moving my controller around. So that's kind of like one of the big things I really want to see that you guys do for controller things, because I seriously think in terms of like, if you want to make the ADC console player able to compete with the PC ADC player, I think gyro aiming is what's going to bridge that gap. And I mean, I play around myself. It is really, really good if you get used to it.
So real quick before Demonde jumps in on that, I have to point out that my mom and my grandma were apparently ahead of their time, because when they would play the game Spyro on the original PlayStation, when they want to jump the ledge, they would do this.
I hate him, bro.
Try to get him to jump. I'm like, that's not how that works, right? But that's what they would hit the button to jump, like up there. We want you up there. So if they had the gyro aiming, they probably would have made the jump.
No, I'm glad you guys brought up gyro, because gyro is something that has been brought to my attention before, but it isn't something I've had the capacity to go and like look into yet. I plan on looking into it. I don't know if it's something we can do. I don't know if it would feel right in Pred. I don't know any of these things, right? So I can't promise anything. But what I can say is, yeah, I'll look into it for sure, because I know a lot of people, like I've heard more and more people saying like, yeah, gyro is really cool. And somebody told me like they can play Counter-Strike on a controller because of gyro. I'm like, how does it even make any sense? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. I've never used it, but I'll have to use it.
Yeah, definitely check out the CSGO one. I haven't heard about gyro aiming CSGO, and I mean, that game is literally like precision. And if you can play CSGO the controller with gyro aiming, then something's working, right? So
exactly,
definitely, I think that's what was part of Endeavor. Like, definitely, it's not like a must-need requirement, I would say. Definitely prioritize the other more specific things like turn acceleration, like that kind of stuff first. And then like gyro aiming is kind of like that one of those things you can really investigate more once you got all the other fundamental stuff in, right?
Like a bells and whistles sort of thing.
For sure. But yeah, back to mastery, because I unlike what somebody said, Omeda wasn't silencing me. I legitimately just
bro, that was hilarious. Shout out to F6. That's hilarious. Like, yo, Omeda's telling him to be quiet, bro. Hold on.
No, but yeah, so I do like the league aspect of having to prove your skill to rank up in mastery, right? But I also dislike the league system of once you're 7, and that's it. You can no longer, like, you can show that you have 10 million points on Heimerdinger, sure, okay, but there's no title, there's no name, there's no real anything other than just a number that says 10 million behind it. And I want to put more life and more flair into the like long-term one-trick pony, I'm gonna play this hero for 5 years mastery.
Level 747 Iggy sort of vibe, like that sort of stuff. Just like keep scaling.
What is that thing that Call of Duty would do that you, or I think it was Call of Duty, prestigious. Yeah, there we go. That's perfect. There you go.
Yeah, that's another thing, but I want to make sure that people do get like meaningful rewards out of the mastery system, like meaningful cosmetics, obviously, out of the mastery system, like. The skins are one of those things, and some other things that I probably won't say, but like, yeah, the mastery system will come. I think people will be happy with it, and I think it will fulfill the goal that we've set out to fulfill with mastery, right? Give people a reason to want to play the game.
I'm so tired. I could have sworn he just said the mastery system Wukong. Swear.
So, all right, and I'm not asking you to say that you guys are going to have it or whatever. I want to know your opinion on Paragon's mastery in the sense. What were your thoughts on the crown that you would get in the mastery system for Paragon?
Yeah, I mean, I actually had no problem with crowns. I thought they were cool. I thought I forget how they worked. Were crowns after the mastery skin, or were they alongside it?
Yeah, you would get the mastery skin, and then after the fact, you would start gaining them. No. Like you'd get the little crown, then it would grow from there.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly how they did it, but I have no problem with crowns, right? Like, if something like that were to come back, it wouldn't bother me personally. But I know some people hated crowns. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, some people just didn't like them. But the thing is, if I remember correctly, with Paragon, they were toggleable. Like you could turn them on or off. Like you didn't have to have it on. Like you didn't, if you wanted to show it, you could show it. All right. So, what are your thoughts on banners? Answer wisely.
Yeah.
Answer wisely.
Okay. Yeah, I've thought about banners quite a bit because, I mean, there are discussions, right? Like, hey, what are possible cosmetics? What are possible rewards, right? Putting a banner somewhere somebody died, in my opinion, is not acceptable. Okay? And that is for the reason that it obscures vision. Simple as that. It gets in your way. It's a competitive game. I don't want things in my way. However, here's something that League does that I think works quite well. They have map banners. They put map banners around the map, like on the walls in various places, based on the event that's going on, like Worlds or MSI, or if you're playing a Clash tournament, they will put everybody's Clash trophies up in their base so that everybody can see everybody's Clash trophies, and they'll put their highest rated Clash banners in each player's lane. So like duo lane in League of Legends, we'll have 2 banners, one on each side of each lane, corresponding to the player that's playing it. Yeah.
Like a little calling card that'd be unique, and he just gets added to the map. Like
Exactly.
I guess the only example that I can think of in a 3D aspect would be kind of like how Apex shows off the kill leader, the champion of the match currently. You know what I mean? And they highlight that individual's calling card and all that up on the screens in the game and whatnot, like as you're running through. Like, it'd be cool. That'd be super dope, just seeing some random flags around and be like, why the fuck does Bearded have a Narbash icon? Like, what the fuck? Okay.
No, and that would actually, the current map is actually not bad for that, especially think of it. When you think of it, you mean, I know you try to main carry, you do your best. When you're in duo lane, you have up on the hill, you have those 3 pillars. Like there could be a banner hanging right there that, you know, they could show, Windows KDA and how bad it actually is. But I mean, then you can go, show the other ADCs their KDA and how good it is.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that these are the areas that you can explore these types of cosmetics. I don't think what Epic did was an acceptable way of exploring that cosmetic. That's just what I'll say. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's
so even if it was,
because I know I talked.
Go ahead, Joy.
I was just saying that I think that whole like Clash Trophy kind of style put on the map or changing the map depending on who's coming in with the swagger, I think just a really cool idea. Because I mean, I played some Clash before, and then I remember I won the Clash, and then I went to just a normal game, and I saw my Clash Trophy. I was like, yeah, I'd love to see that. So I mean, imagine you put that in a 3D environment, how much more you can like walk into the lane, you look up to your left, and you see your big trophy, whatever it is, and just how cool that looks in the 3D environment. Like, there's just so much stuff you can do with that.
For sure.
Sure. And being an MMO player, right? And I haven't played WoW because unfortunately I was too young and didn't have a PC to play on. But I've like watched WoW and I understand, I know what WoW is. And a big part of MMOs, right, is you want to experience all the different content in the game, and you want to master all that content in the game. And then you want to deck your character out with like, look at all the cool shit I've done. Right, look at my wings, look at my armor, look at my VFX trails, look at my mount, right? Look at all this cool stuff.
Yeah, like in Destiny. It was the coolest thing, bro. Like, yo, check out this piece of armor I got, bro. Tell me this thing's spicy. Look at this gun. Isn't that sweet?
Your sparrows decked out. Yep, your weapons, they all have ornaments on them. Yeah, like, so not that you could bring all of these things to a MOBA, right? You can't, not everybody can be running around on their horse. That's not what I'm saying, but being able to show like, hey, look what I did in competitive nights, look what I did in ranked, look what I did look how much I've mastered my champion. Like, I think all these things are important to kind of build player identity, and this kind of theme that I call like my home game, like a game that I came home from school and was like, I'm at home now, right? Like, this is my home game. This is where all my accomplishments are. This is where my friends are. This is where I have fun. Like, this is home. That was Destiny for me. Then that was Paragon. Now that's Pred, just in a different way.
So I assume with all that kind of talk, that's something you want to especially try to showcase on the profile page, because we have that profile page in game for a while. It's like coming soon, like the background or whatever, like different tabs. So I assume with the new UI that we get kind of more like a profile showcase where you can kind of choose or show off your stats whenever people want to click on your profile, right?
If it's okay, I'll be honest. If it's new UI stuff, I'm actually unsure.
Okay.
Not because I haven't like seen it or been around it, but because I haven't really been involved with that process very much. I'm more of like an overarching meta systems type like I'm not in the trenches of the UI. Honestly, I haven't been, so I can't really talk about what's going on there. I don't really know.
Yeah, okay.
But what I'd like to see people build out a profile in the UI. Yeah, that's something I'd like to see for sure. Yeah.
All right. So keeping on console and the controller situation. Oh, go ahead, Joe. If you're still talking about
I was gonna say, I know like League they did their own style of like a profile kind of showcase kind of page. So I thought like Predecessor would kind of get their own version, maybe let's spice it up a little bit more.
Animated backgrounds and stuff. That'd be dope.
Yeah, because like the profile thing on League is pretty old. I think it hasn't changed too much about what you can showcase for the most part. So I think it's kind of cool to see a more modern take on that for MOBA. Is what I'm trying to get at.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I wasn't disagreeing with what you were saying at all. That is something I would agree. I would like to see that. I guess I for some reason I thought you were asking if that was going to like come with the UI when that happens, and I don't know is the answer. Like, yeah, but
Gotcha.
It is something I'd like to see. Agree with you.
So since you're working on the console version with, and trying to get things there with the controller and how that works with the PlayStation, are in the roadmap they were talking about controller V2. Are you working on that at all, or are you strictly just working with PlayStation, or are you trying to get the V2 controller working as well?
Yeah, we do have another version of controller. Yeah, I'm essentially, yes, I am dealing with V2. That is my feature. Yeah, I'm working on that. It has a new layout. I don't know if the haptics will come with it. I'm not sure. V2 could be first. Haptics, well, no, V2 would be before haptics or alongside haptics probably, because it wouldn't really make much sense the other way. But yeah, essentially what V2 is it's because right now I actually don't know if we natively support controller or if Steam is what is kind of driving our controller. Maybe one of you guys know that. I'm not actually sure.
I think you do natively support because Epic, you're able to use it perfectly fine, and Epic does not have their own like, hey, we'll kind of do the work for you vibe like Steam does. Epic is more like, hey, it's up to the devs if you can use it or not.
Okay, got you. Yeah, so my bad then. I probably joined, it was probably right around the time I joined that was getting finalized, and I don't exactly remember. So I didn't know if we natively supported it or not. But yeah, this is essentially a controller scheme that will be directly friendly to people who play games on console, right? Like this isn't designed for people who play on PC, and we just needed to get them something up and running. Like you're a console player, this will be familiar to you. It's kind of that simple.
You know what that reminds me of?
Be in a place that are, yeah, go ahead, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, you know what that reminds me of? You remember back in the day, you used to have either Alt with triangle, or you could have your back two triggers with Alt. The different controller layouts. Is that what you're kind of talking about?
I'm not necessarily talking about different controller layouts, right? Like that will happen, I think, or it might. I should say, I don't know. But right now, the goal is get something out that will give us a good baseline for all players, or for all console players, right? For all PlayStation players. I'm sure like something you all would love to have, something I would love to have, would be customizable button inputs full stop. But we've seen this with many games, right? That's not always doable, and sometimes it comes a few years down the road. Like I think I could be like mistaken here, but I think Cyberpunk is an example. I think where when that launched, I think Witcher as well. When that launched, it was like, nope, this is how you play the game. This is your one layout, and like now you just customize it, do it whatever you want. Or like Fortnite, I think is a good example of that. Whereas them, you can just customize it however you want. That's obviously a good end goal, but yeah, for now, we're just trying to get one solid layout. And something I can say is that for people who have been playing on this legacy layout the whole time and don't want to like completely like restructure their whole their whole mind and how they use their controller, yeah, like there still will be the legacy version, of course.
All right. So the new version is going to be called Monolith?
Nice one. No, I think it'll be... I don't know what it's called, actually. I'm not sure.
There we go.
It'll be the standard version, though.
Suggestion.
Yeah, when you boot up the game for the first time and you've never played the game before and you don't have a config file loaded, it'll be controller V2, yeah, that you play on. And if you choose to go back to Legacy, have at her. But yeah, we expect this will serve controller players much better.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about with Demonde here with console or controller?
No, I think we got quite a bit little questions. Let's see if the chat wants to ask Demonde anything really quick before we move forward here.
We're still gonna talk to Demonde. I mean, so we can, if they want.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, bring in questions, but I want to move on in that situation, and if we'll bounce back to it if they have any questions. But I want to move on to ranked. That's something you're dealing with as well. I want to know what you got your hand in the cookie jar ranked. What's going on there?
Oh boy, yeah, ranked is ranked. It is a beautiful feature that I cannot wait to see in the game. Truly, it is the one thing that I want to see the most. Full stop. Yeah, is ranked. Started working on it actually very early on when I joined, and it's still something that I'm working on now. It's you would think a ranked system is easier to create than it actually is. When looking at it from the outside, you'd think, oh, well, you just need ranks and then put people in a ring and send them, and then they get ranked, and you lose when you lose, and you win when you lose rank when you lose, and you gain rank when you win. But no, it's not that simple. There's a lot that goes into it. This is something that also Alex can probably talk more about later on, or Jay Shreds or these other guys that know a lot more about MMR, but that plays a huge role into ranked, right? And it's and until that MMR these MMR issues are sorted and set in stone, ranked wouldn't be something that we could bring because it wouldn't make any sense.
Right.
Yeah, you need a solid MMR foundation to then build a ranked foundation off of. Right, but the one thing that I did get permission to share, which I've been very, very excited about, I actually have been preaching this since the Paragon days themselves, when I was begging for ranked back then on the Reddit forums, is I wanted the top rank of Paragon, right, to be called Paragon. Because that makes sense. It's the pinnacle, right? That's what that word means. So I'm happy to say that is something that, as far as I know, we plan on doing in Predecessor. Yeah.
So it's going to be named Paragon.
Nice.
Yeah, the top rank. Yeah, and I did get permission to share that.
I like it. Little pay homage.
Yeah, that's full circle as fuck. That's awesome,
right?
Yep. Just pay a little bit of homage, and hey, this is where we came from. 10 years, 12 years down the road, when you've got your Paragon players that everybody looks up to, be like, well, the game started with Paragon and it ends with Paragon.
There you go. I like that. All right. I did have one question in the chat that I saw. There might be more, but I only saw one. Medkit wants to know, what role would you like Wukong to be in?
Yes.
He says role, but it says assassin, bruiser, dare I say melee ADC.
Yeah, he's referring to class.
You're right.
So it's a subclass of assassin called Trickster. Yeah, so a general assassin would be like Fengmao or Kalari, right? You see a Fengmao and you see a Kalari, you know what's going to happen. You know exactly what they're going to do to you. They can use their abilities in different ways, but you know what's happening. With Wukong, it's like, holy shit, where did he go? Or like, which one's the real Wukong? Or, he disappeared for a second. Is he going to reappear over there? Or is he going to reappear over there? How is he going to use his mobility? Is he going to use it vertically? Or is he going to use it horizontally? Like, we have characters like, Kalari Dash is a good example, right? With her ultimate, you can ult just forward to go straight, or you can ult up. And again, I'm not a champion designer, but I would like to explore more optional mobility. So it's like you have the option of going up over something, or you have the option of going straight. You have the option of going through something. Maybe Wukong can reappear on the other side of a wall. I don't know, but it's a trickster type thing, right? Whereas like when you engage with this thing, it's playing mind games with you to win. If it plays the mind games and outsmarts you, it wins. If it doesn't, it loses, and that's the weakness, right? Whereas it's like if it can't play the mind game properly, it dies.
You know what? You just reminded me of something in a lot of like movie adaptations of Wukong and stuff like that. He is a trickster oftentimes, every time you see him in movies and such. And usually you won't know that you're fighting a clone of his until you defeat the clone and you're like, what the fuck? And you find out that the real Wukong's just been like literally standing over there watching you fight the whole time, just like chilling, laughing at you and shit. So could you imagine like if his ult was an active like Revenant from Apex, he summons a clone, he fights in his clone form, but it's like a lifeline. Like if he dies in clone form, well, guess what? That was never the real him. Yep. He's been back there the whole time.
Kind of like Mirage from Apex. He can send out that little Mirage, whatever, and you fight that.
Kind of, but imagine he's the Mirage starts fighting, basically. Like you're controlling the Mirage, right, and you're shooting with the Mirage and everything, but when the Mirage dies out of nowhere, you're like, what the fuck? I thought I killed him, but you didn't kill the real one. You killed the clone. Just an idea. Just throwing that shit out there. Yeah. That would be awesome.
All right. Is that all you can say with ranked? And that's fine if it is.
I mean, like it's tough to like lay out the entirety of like what ranked is, because in some sense it is also just a ranked system. It is a system that will have medals that will allow you to climb through. Solo duo queue experience. I think that's expected.
Speaking of that, do you have intentions, you yourself, and not maybe that's no meta, but like, do you have intentions of wanting, or maybe you do know about a meta, you have the solo duo queue, but is there going to be like maybe a possible 5-stack queue for ranked as well?
It's absolutely something that I would want. Yes. Again, can I confirm that that's something we're going to do anytime soon? No, because I don't know, but it is something that I would want. Yeah. And I mean, I can definitely speak to some of the things that I would want to see out of a ranked system that I don't know kind of what direction that we're going with yet. Here's one that I'll give you that, this is 100% just my own opinion and how I feel about these things, about ranked systems specifically. In multiplayer games in the solo duo environment, and that is, I want to see, or I would like to see, players that perform well gain more rank than players that don't, and I would and consequently, right, that goes for winning teams and losing teams. If you lose but you tried your absolute hardest and you got good CS and you did good damage, or you tanked as a tank, or you healed as a healer, like you did your job but you still lost the game, I would want to mitigate that loss a bit. You would always still lose some, but I'd want to mitigate that loss. And consequently, if you hard carried your team to victory, like 25-0 or whatever, I would want to give you more, because I just tried.
So you almost get like a multiplier, and I know it's a third-party system. You guys don't use it directly, but Omeda.city has a thing they call a PS score, like your personal score or whatever, something like that. And like, so depending on that PS score, you could actually have a decent PS score, but you could still end up losing the game. So depending on how your PS score is, you get a multiplier based off of that, or you get you went really low on your PS score, you didn't really help the team out, you're not going to get as much added to your MMR. Or your rank system, you get much added to your rank. But if you do really well, it's like, here, we're going to give you an extra multiplier for it because of this. Like, here's a boost in this situation. That would be really cool. I'm all about that.
Yeah, these are some things that I've thought about, and I've kind of went through. Now, there's some glaring issues with this, right? Now, the glaring issues are, let's say I'm on a team that lost the game, and I AFK'd at 5 minutes. Okay, but I didn't AFK out of maliciousness. The internet company just stuck a shovel in the ground and cut my cable, and I don't have internet. I can't get back on. The game is just going to see that as me AFKing, right? There's no way you can sort that. So in that system, it would be really harsh to that player. If those 5 players were all going to lose 20 points each, in my system, it would make that person, because that person was AFK, literally contributed nothing to the match, it would probably make them lose 100 and then mitigate the loss for the rest of the team and said, hey, you guys got an AFK. This guy was responsible for the loss. You guys all played your best.
Correct me if I'm wrong. In League, if somebody, like, let's say they straight up AFK and they're found guilty of AFK and everything, right? They're the one that lose MMR. The rest of the team doesn't.
The rest of the team loses half.
Oh, yeah, half is it? Okay.
Yeah, the rest of the team loses half, and they get a penalty. But that penalty is not equivalent to, like, you know, if it was 20 for 4, so that's 40. Right? The game saved these players a total of 40 LP. They do not take 40 LP away from the AFK. For sure, they don't. They take a little bit more. They take like 10 more or something. But yeah, like, so there's issues here. You can't just put this system in and then everything's all great. It's like, no, you know, somebody loses their internet, they might drop from gold 2 to gold 3, and it's like, is that fair to that player?
Hashtag call Musk. Get that Starlink, bro. Right? Like, what are you gonna do?
Well, I mean, in that situation, like, I get that's a huge feels bad man situation that, you know, where you got going on there. But if you're playing that well, you'll gain that back with your system, as with the same system you're talking about, and how you get a benefit if you actually play well. Like, you'll gain that back pretty decently. You know, that one-off situation that happened, sure, but then you also need that penalty system for the people who do just go AFK because, you know, they're like, fuck it, and they do ruin that situation for the other 4 players that are playing. So you need that penalty there. The people who are like, for the one-off, like, you actually got your internet cut, feels bad, but you're going to grind it back because you're that committed player. The people who are going to rank and they're just going AFK because they go AFK, I want them to lose that 100 because they went AFK, because that they ruined I lost 20 because of them. They better be losing more because of them. You know, that's a situation. So again, huge feels bad, man, but like you'll get it back. You know, just stay committed, keep grinding.
No, I can agree with the sentiment for sure. But yeah, it's just like, we just gotta, you know, if we were to do something like that, we would just have to be really careful with, like, where are the lines, essentially. Like, right. I don't think you can, I straight up don't think you can demote somebody from gold 2 to gold 3 because they AFK'd, unless this person is like AFKing every second game or something. Then there's an issue. But it's like, you AFK once because a person's going to be aware of that, right? And it's like, I don't know, you could need to.
They're just going to AFK every single time they're losing, and then won't get demoted. They'll play the system.
Yeah, it's a tough one. When Wangle just said, chat, my favorite Wukong one-trick raging Lux main. Like, what? But no, yeah, it's definitely, you really got to, there's fine margins, right?
Yeah. No, I think I mean, as long as you guys release that before you go full release, I think that's release rank is what I'm saying. Before you go full release, that is a perfect time for you to test what those numbers are. You know, you release rank. All right, let's say it is 20 and 100. All right, maybe that's maybe to 100 is too strong. We'll bring it. Hey, the team loses 20, the AFK loses 70. Let's try that. Let's see what then maybe that. All right, and now that's not strong enough. All right, 75. You know, and you mess with those numbers and you figure that out. And I think that's what the perfect time for early access is, for you to test all those little things before we go for release. And then when you that rank system is there, you're good to go.
Yeah. No, I get it. And I, again, just to reiterate, what I had just kind of explained about, you know, punishing people that grief you and giving more to people that really try to carry and really try to play well, whether it's on a losing team or a winning team. This is something that I would personally want to see. This is not something that I am guaranteeing or that, you know, I'm saying that we're working on or anything like that, because it's out of scope for trying to bring, you know, version 1 of ranked to the community when we can. Yeah, just to reiterate that.
No, I got you, and I'm glad you reiterated that, because there are people who are going to need to hear that, and that's fine. I got a question off-site here that I want to ask if there's Fangtooth plans in the near future.
What end?
Like changes to Fangtooth?
That's all I was told. Ask Demonde if there's Fangtooth plans in the near future.
Who said this?
Intarth asked that question.
Oh, not in the near future is what I have to say.
There you go. All right. I did totally blank one of my own mastery questions I wanted to ask. Do you know? And if you don't know, that's fine. Is there what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out, guys. The retroactive, is that what the word I'm looking for? Is that going to be something that's going to be possible for mastery? Like, is it going to take an account
prior
my
experience?
180 games that I have with Murdoch already?
Right. So I absolutely hate to be able to not answer this, but that is a data question that our data team would have to answer. I don't know.
Okay. No,
Yeah, I don't
that's
even
perfectly
track
fine.
any of that.
All right. The next thing you said you got your hands in is ability description. What do we got there?
Right. So if you read any of our descriptions for our abilities, they're all mouthfuls, all of them. Right. It is a big block of text, and to try to decipher what your ability actually does in that block of text, if you have never played that character before, that's not easy to do. Right. You have to read it in combat or in the game, or yeah.
Perfect example. I did this last night. I started playing Richter offlane, and his E, it's the electrocute one. It says it has in parentheses green, has a heart, and then it's 8%. I don't know what that means, and I'm guessing that the scaling with 8% of my max health is that my damage gets boosted from that. I don't know. That's like I read that. I'm like, I don't know what this means. So if anybody can help me, either Joey here or anybody in chat, let me know what that 8% means with the heart next to it. Even Demonde, anybody help me with that. I would love to know the answer to that question.
Yeah. So the heart is the scaling, essentially telling you that it is going to scale off of your. Yeah. So the icon is denoting this is a stat you can build to increase this number. If you see a sword, it means build attack damage. If you see a lightning bolt, it means build ability power to increase this number. And that will hold true. Yeah, that's going to hold true in the new system as well.
All right.
However, what the new system does is it very clearly breaks down. It gives you a header and with a very, very brief description of what your ability does. Let me see if I can grab one just to read for you real quick.
All right, so I did decipher it correctly. I'm like, wait a minute. I almost read it as it heals me, like it gives me 8% healing, but I'm like, that doesn't seem right. Like, I don't think Richter has healing in his kit like that. So I'm like, that doesn't seem right. So like, what is this? So yeah, so if you build max health, that's going to that 8% is going to get boosted in that situation. Gotcha.
Yep. So yeah, this is from Countess. It's from her Blade Siphon. So the header, right, the flavor of the ability is spin, creating a blood cloud around you. That is what you do, right?
Yes.
Fair enough. And then there will be bullet points underneath this descriptor. First bullet point, usually damage, but if there's a condition before the damage, it's in chronological order. So first bullet point deals 70 damage, right? In between the 70 and the damage, there will be an icon with telling you what it scales with. That 70 damage, the whole block will be colored, and the color is going to tell you what type of damage it does. If it's like blue, it does ability damage. If it's orange, it does physical damage. If it's white, it does true damage. Pretty simple.
Yeah.
The next bullet point restores 6 health per target hit. In between 6 and health, there's an icon that has a lightning bolt, so if you build ability power, you're going to be getting more health per target hit. And the next bullet point, healing is increased by 4 times against heroes. It's very simple. Instead of having a bunch of like Countess spins and does this, and then this damage happens, and then she heals, but the healing is increased with this condition, it's like, no, it's just, here's the flavor, this is what it does. Very simple.
All right. No, that's going to make it a lot better, especially for the newer people who don't, because I mean, the goal obviously is to get people who haven't played Paragon to play this game. And obviously the people who play Paragon, we understand how the hero somewhat works, because there's some changes. Obviously Decker, for example, is not the exact one-to-one copy from Paragon. But other heroes, we kind of understand what's going on. We know what we're doing. So, but we need that description for a person coming in that hasn't played Paragon to come in, read it, and understand right away this is what's going on. So that's gonna be great. That's gonna be a perfect situation for that.
And yeah, and I can tell you about this feature specifically, that both like veteran players and new players alike both like the system. Like they both prefer it to the old one. So it's not like
Good.
we're trading off complexity here. We're not losing complexity.
No,
We're just making it easier to look at and understand what you're looking at.
right. Yeah, I mean that doesn't change gameplay in my opinion. I think you're just reading something and understanding and be able to understand it and comprehend it. It does not make the game easier or better for you. It just makes it the skill wise. I'm saying it doesn't make it easier or better for you. It just you can understand when you press that button, you know what you're doing.
Yep. All it does is it reduces the barrier to entry. It does nothing else. Yeah.
Yep. Perfect. All right. The last thing we have on here that you have your hand in is AI. All right.
Yes, sir.
The one thing that I want to see with AI is something that I remember Paragon having, and that was the harder level, like the level change. You can make it easy, medium, or hard, or whatever. Like you go in. I want to go against a harder AI. Like right now, the AI is just way too easy.
Yes.
I believe Jelly Knee said you could pretty much go into AI match right now and just sit there at base, and your team's still going to win, even though you're not doing anything.
Great.
So, yeah. So I would like to see something like that. What are you guys working on? What are your intentions or whatever? Like whatever you can give us the information, go ahead and spill it.
Yeah, for sure. Intentions are absolutely, I don't know when, but intentions are absolutely, yeah, we want like a medium, or I think right now it's like beginner, honestly. So yeah, we would want an easy and a medium, probably a hard at some point. I don't know if it would go much beyond that. I don't know if there's a reason to make impossible bots where they can like one shot you through walls and like, I don't know. So I don't think there's a market for like an insane difficulty, but a couple more stages of difficulty that people can, bash their heads against for sure. Definitely something that's planned. And I'll give a huge shout out to Rick, who's our AI guy. He's absolutely brilliant. I've worked with him on like the whole thing. Not just heroes, right? Not like enemy hero AI and allied hero AI, but minions and jungle and Fangtooth, like all of it, right? And this guy's an absolute genius. So while I have like designed the AI in terms of I have twisted the knobs and pushed the buttons, right? That's all I do. This guy builds the knobs and buttons for me to push. So yeah, he's awesome.
Speaking of AI, did you help with the whole chat AI, like being able to automatic mute people if they get a little bit too feisty in the chats?
No, that had nothing to do with me, unfortunately. No.
Okay. Was he the one that did that then?
No, that's a different thing. Like,
different thing.
Rick, it's like Rick is like gameplay AI stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So multiple different AI groups like specialize in different gameplay aspects. Got it.
Yeah, you'd probably have to talk more with maybe Alex. I'm not sure. Someone else. Yeah, I just don't know about any of those things. But yeah, I plan on twisting those knobs a little bit in the future, and working with Rick to improve the AI to allow them to become more difficult down the line. Yeah, I don't know if this is post launch. I don't know when this is, but it's something that we absolutely want. I think the hardest difficulty of bots in League sees a good amount of matches, like a significant amount of matches. Like you'd want the system to exist for people to play in it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I liked when Paragon, right? Because I had a multitude of people coming in that just like either never played it. I wasn't good myself at it, but I was decent. And the new people coming in that I would have play with me, like they have no clue what's going on. So playing against bots, but like we don't want something like, all right, we're gonna go play against these bots. Oh, we just owned them. We went 20-0. Like we got this. Let's go into a real game. And it's like going to a real game, you just get wiped. It's like, wait a minute, we need a little more practice, and we don't have that option with Predecessor right now. So that be able change that level would allow you to go in like, okay, now let's see how we do against the medium bots. All right, let's see how we do against the hard bots. Let's see, and we if you can't handle hard bots, don't go into PvP, because you're not going to be able to do that very well. So that's just kind of my thought behind it. And I want to see a AI mode like that.
No, for sure. And my opinion is that these bots, or these modes could help with onboarding even, right? Like you could have a quest where it's like, okay, go play a couple beginner bot matches. Your next quest is like go play a couple medium matches, whatever. Like basically just dip people's toes into what a MOBA is and figure that out from there, rather than straight into PvP. There you go, which can be very jarring.
I can imagine. So let me ask you this. I actually started talking with this a little bit behind the scenes with Jay Shreds, actually, and I'd love to get your opinion on it, because, for example, you're somebody that got into the dev world slowly through testing, for example, right? It's not like you had any game dev or anything like that. So if somebody wants to get into game dev, like, are there jobs within Omeda, gaming studios, etc., that because most people just think it's either programming or like some sort of coding or something like that, like you just gotta know that to be in the team. But I heard that it's not necessarily that case. Could you shed some light on that?
I can try. I only have my own personal experience to go off of, really, and that is, at some point when I was in IT, I realized that electrical engineering didn't really matter to me anymore. I wanted to work for NVIDIA, and I wanted to design like GPUs, not GPU dies, so not but the PCB, but essentially, so the power input, the input filtering, the VRAM around the die, all this. Like I wanted to design the PCB, not the physical chip itself. But point is, I realized this isn't something I want to do. I actually want to make games, and I've kind of always wanted to make games. But if I had advice for what can you do to become a junior, it would be designer anyway, rather, because you're not talking about code, right? You're talking about the thought process behind it, like who thinks up these things, because that's what designers are. I would say, on paper, start making your own game, right? Which sounds insane. I don't mean, get on Unreal and start trying to figure out Unreal. Like that's a rabbit hole that you have to be a super genius to solve. I tried it. Nope. I can navigate Unreal in terms of our company structure, but in terms of like building something from scratch in Unreal, not going to happen for me. So I think a lot of people do get stuck in that trap a bit. I think, you can do all of the game design you would ever need to do in a real job on Google Docs and Google Sheets and Google Slides, which are all free. Whatever you're most passionate about, if it's an MMO, if it's a MOBA, whatever, start making character kits on paper. Start reworking character kits from Paragon, from Predecessor, from League, from Dota, and make them better or make them how they would be today, rather than how they released 10 years ago. If it's a MOBA, start writing raid encounters like I did when I was 15 or whatever. Like, these things aren't exactly things that you can show employers, but when you find yourself in a position where you might be able to enter the workforce, you can say, hey, I did these things. Hey, this is how I think. Hey, look at some of these papers that I wrote about these things.
Let me show you my ideas. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. I think they care more about your thought process, in terms of like how you come to the conclusions you do, rather than specifically the conclusions you come to. Because as a junior, what I will say is you have a lot of help in finalizing those conclusions, right? Like the junior mind, right, is a big idea machine. It's like, can we do this? Can we do this? Can we do this? And it's like, you've got people like Blood, right, the senior, who's there to kind of ground you and say, hey, like, this is what we can do, and like, let me foster this in a direction that makes sense. I don't know, that was a bit rambly. I don't know if that answered the question, but
yeah, I got you. So you would, so in a way, you would pretty much just say, like, if you're trying to get into that specific aspect, just start doing it. Like, would you recommend somebody just like post their reworks on like YouTube, them talking about it, try to get a little bit more exposure? Maybe that might catch somebody's eye. You think those ideas might be good for like people like that?
Yeah, that's a way to do it. I mean, the way I did it was I just joined a Discord that was for an up and coming game that I really had passion for. Like, I'm sure there's games that pop up every day that's just like community driven indie type games that need designers. If you're passionate about one of them, hop on their Discord, start talking to their devs, start getting in touch with their community, you don't have to post stuff on YouTube. I don't think you have to stream or do anything like that, but you just have to, your job is to produce ideas, right? So start producing ideas.
I think
a lot of them are going to suck, by the way. A lot of my ideas suck. It's just finding the ones that work and that make the game better is what matter.
Yeah. All right. So we got a little bit of time left here. I got some questions in chat that we want to ask here. And some of them may have been answered, but they may not have been here. So we'll ask anyways. Nerd Vibes ask, will there be multiple skins for masteries, bronze, silver, gold, or just the one?
I think all I have planned right now is just the master skin itself, but that may expand. I don't know.
Okay.
If there were more, I would say, but I don't know.
Okay. And then F6 asks, will there be regions for ranked?
Oh, that is a really good question, because I would absolutely want there to be regions for ranked. I'm gonna say probably. That's tentative. Probably. It's all if the to release ranked, right? You need the player base to support ranked, and if the player base supports ranked, it's probably big enough to have multiple servers. But I don't know if I've had this conversation, or if I did, it might have been a while ago with somebody. So probably, yeah. I wouldn't imagine trying to make people play ranked on 150 ping. That would be insane.
Yeah.
So yeah,
all right. Now I'm not saying you have this answer, but I have seen it in multiple spots, either on comments for our Predcast show on YouTube, or comments on Twitter, or even comments on Facebook. Do you know? And if you don't know, can you go back and ask? Since you're out the inside there, can we get some confirmation for Australian servers? Obviously, I get player base right now does not support it, but if we get the player base big enough, can we get do we know of growing servers? Because there's people who were thinking that this is not going to happen. We're not going to get an Australian server or something like that.
I can go back. I can even tomorrow just talk to somebody about it. I guess I can't relay the information back, but I can tell you that I'll talk to people about it for sure. My guess though is that they're already very aware if that's an issue. And I would also say that if there is a big pocket of player population that is fiending for the game but doesn't have an available server, I think that we would probably just put a server there. I don't know. I'm not that's just an opinion. I would think that we would do that. I don't know. Maybe there's a reason we wouldn't, but
yeah.
From my,
my experience with being with Fault shut down. They had an Australian server for a little bit there, but there was only maybe 10 people that were playing it. And it just wasn't working. They were putting money into a server that just wasn't enough to be able to get their out of it. So they shut it down. But Fault also had a situation that was something they did pretty well. And Windu can back me up on this. I don't know what they did to change up, but their ping wasn't really that affected unless you're playing ADC. You could be NA and go play NU or EU. Play NA, you be NA and go play EU and not have that much of effect with your ping. And I think that would be something as well that I think that would be beneficial for Predecessor to look into, whatever that might be. Do you remember what that was, Windu?
No, I think it was just had to do something with the working. But I'll be honest with you, thankfully, I haven't had to even test that in Predecessor. Right. I don't have to go to EU matches and see what that's like on carry or see what that's like melee. I'm grateful enough that every time I play, that shit could be at 1 a.m. That shit could be at 3 in the afternoon. I'll queue and I'll find a match somehow within NA East, right? So I'm grateful for that, but I know NA West might be different. I know there's a very big South American part of the community.
South American and Australian are the top 3 that I would say that have the biggest issues with it, and that's where I think that yes, we're lucky in that situation that we're not having the Fault situation where we had to have that. But I just think that'd be something huge. I know we're getting off track, and that's really not Demonde's area. and we also have a little bit of time here left. Just something I remember seeing, and I wanted to bring that up on the Predcast so other people can maybe. I know other devs are watching and all that stuff. So maybe we get an answer on that somewhere, maybe in chat, the comments below in the YouTube version. Would be great to see that. I mean, Demonde, this is a great episode. I was expecting I was expecting good information, and you came in and gave us great, amazing information. Greatly appreciate it. And you're very open with a lot of your stuff, very candid with a lot of your information you're able to give us. That's awesome. You got me so excited for PS5, and I don't even own one. Like,
right? I'm excited for the controller, bro. That shit's spicy.
I'm just like, that's insane. Like, why you're excited for something you don't even own? It's fucking very cost expensive. So yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad. I promise you, I'm just as excited as you are, and I really can't wait till people get this in their hands. I can't wait until I can play live games with a controller in my hand, chilling in my bed on my PS5.
There you go.
But one point about your server thing, I will say, like, because I play on Europe servers, right, for work, because it's a it's a UK company, and in IT I played on Europe too all the time. And I will say that our game handles ping better than I've really ever seen in a lot of games. Like 150 ping on most games, at least on League of Legends, completely unplayable, I would say. And at the high end, right, you might have high end players saying like, yeah, anything over 50 ping is a nightmare. But like, I can hop on to like the work server and play at 150 ping or whatever, and it's fine. Like, I can handle it. It's a little gross, but like, compared to other games, ping in our game somehow is handled really, really well. So yeah, I will just.
I actually agree with that, because sometimes I go on EU when my queue lines are really long in NA, or when I want to go against players who want FF at 12 minutes. And yeah, playing at the 120 ping sounds like a lot. Like League of Legends 120 ping is just unplayable. But when I play 120 ping Predecessor, it's actually there's a delay, but it is playable. Like for a game that's a 3D kind of MOBA, you can work with it 100%. So you guys handle the ping really well for Predecessor.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure. I do say when people want to FF at 12 minutes.
Exactly. NA crowd, fix yourself. Go to the gym, work on your mental, and strengthen that up. All right. You're making Joey go over here and play EU because you guys want FF at 12. All right. Come on. Get better. Do better. All right. So real quick, we got to go over it because we got a little bit of time here, but the skins, or do you want to save the skins for next week? We got some great skins. They're getting the recolors they posted. Did you want to post those? Or you just want to go over right to the poll and we'll do that?
Yeah, I mean, I'll put them up on the screen just so we can at least kind of touch on them for a split second.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have actually been very happy for the skins, overwhelmingly happy. Like, I didn't think people were gonna like them that much because they're cool, by all means, right? I don't put them here on the screen, but
I'll be 100% honest. When they first released the roadmap and they literally had there's no image and it just said recolor, and I was very disappointed. I'm like, this is not something I want to grind for on the roadmap at all. And I'm like, just the term recolor just sounds like it's just repurposed. That's all it is. It's just like, hey, you already have it. There's just something, just a tad difference to it, you know? And I'm like, that's not fun. But when they announced it and they showed these are nice. These are really good. I like these. I don't even play Faye, but I would play this one.
They almost kind of give a vibe of mastery skin, but like some sort of progression skin, because you see the gold and the silver in them, you know?
Yeah. No, yeah. And if you go back to that Narbash one real quick, that Narbash one, I mean, you said mastery. That's literally kind of what I was thinking. It kind of reminds me of the mastery skin for Fault when Narbash, that little
the white and
red, you know, but like, and this would be gold instead. Like, that kind of gives me that feel to it. I like it. It's a very good, and this it works with him being a tribal orc or whatever. It really fits with him and it flows. I think it's really good. I've seen a lot of positivity with it. Even people who are normally, you know, on the negative side towards Predecessor and their skin situation, what's going on with that. This is a good a good uptick, and that's why when I retweeted this, I retweeted it saying, or I quote tweeted it saying that this is the recolors that we as a community deserve. It's not just that normal, hey, we're just going to change the color just to, a green Countess skin. Sorry, Joey, I know she's your favorite, but we needed something a little bit, changes up a little bit different. It's not just a straight, just, hey, we're going to go from red to green. It actually is some good changing here. I like it. I'm all about it. I can't wait. And for those of you who don't know, they also gave you something else to challenge, to grind for the season 2. If 35 was what the first original roadmap came out, it was level 35, and that was where you stopped. Now, if you get to level 40, you get a unseen Sparrow skin as well. So I can't wait to see that one when that gets released.
It should match the theme, if I'm not mistaken. It's still Ascension.
They said it's gonna be that same theme of Ascension. We just don't know how it's gonna look with her. So, and I mean, technically, it could be a recolor. It's not, it could be a recolor of multiple of her skins. So she's got a couple different skins in there. Which one is it going to be the recolor of the Ascension of? So, but I'm excited for it. All right. Now we're at that 2 hour mark, but we still got to talk. We still got to go over this. We challenged you, the community, and the devs. We got a couple of the devs. I'm a little disappointed in some of the devs that didn't actually partake in this, but we did get Julie. Julie made one in there. I think I saw one, and I really didn't see any other devs unless I just don't know their Twitter names, and maybe that's what it is. But I only saw Julie out there, so thank you. Shout out to her for partaking in this. But we challenge you guys to give us your best memes. Hashtag Predmemes, and we got a list put together of how many we got in there? 6.
We have 8. Now, this is going to be something interesting as far as our current poll voting system that we're going to have here live. It'll technically only let us vote for 6. So the first thing that we're going to do is I kind of randomize a couple options here and there. We're eliminating 2. So we're going to have people look at these memes that we chose, the 4 of us, and then we're going to eliminate 2 out of the 8 memes off rip. Nah, these 2 don't cut it. They're going to be in pairs. So be mindful of that. But let's keep talking a little bit about the actual Predmemes and how we want to go ahead and try and get this going a little bit more.
Right. So the Predmeme started out, for those of you who don't know, Predmeme started out with Medkit having this Twin Blast question mark, meme, and putting it together, and we wanted to make it kind of become a big thing. So we brought it up on last Predcast, and we challenge you to make your best meme using that one or using any other meme you can, or putting something together that just works together for Predecessor. So this one here, as you see here on the screen, we got 8 different memes on here. Are we gonna be able to zoom in on any of those to be able to...
I was about to say some of these definitely are some of these definitely are a little bit smaller than others. Not everybody posts memes at high quality, turns out, right? Some of them are 480p, some are like somebody did a 2K meme. I was like, bro, that shit's huge. Yeah. But I do have them here on the side, so I'll go ahead and pull up some of those as we chat.
Yeah, because I want to give everybody I'll read them once they pop up or whatever here, and go over that.
I got you. I just gotta pull them up real quick. But all
right.
Well,
how did you?
We're voting for elims, by the way.
Voting for elims. All right. So if you want to eliminate any of these, so 1 and 3, 2 and 4, 5 and 7, 6 and 8. Okay. That's what you could vote to. Voting for right now is live. Go ahead and vote for that right now. Everybody's saying 6 and 8 is going to be eliminated. All right.
Oh, only one person says it, and the poll is almost done. So I think
only one person.
Well, no, you need to give it. You need to extend the deadline on that, and you need to actually zoom in on the text because we can't even see the memes at all on that end when people looking at.
I got you. I'm just gonna have to do it that way.
Yeah, we're just gonna end that poll and do another one.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll go ahead and zoom in. Bear the quality. Again, this is very low resolution pictures that are trying to make it fit in here. We'll go ahead and just show a couple of these real quick. Just so people can kind of see these a little at a time. Let me move this out of the way.
All right, so number 1. Let me see if I can pull it up here on my end. Nope,
You see
that's
it?
not that one. Sorry, no, I'm not able to see it now with what I'm looking at, but
All right.
I'll put up here. I got it right here. All right, number 1 is the Gru, right? Gru meme. It says constantly spam Iggy memes, annoy both Omeda and the community. Iggy release is delayed, and then it says Iggy release is delayed. So great meme. Good job by SG on that one. All right, now let me see what's the next one you're pulling up. Oh, it's other Iggy one. All right, the other Iggy one.
Had to be
Omeda
Iggy.
releases Twin Blast. Iggy fans are sad. Sad Keanu Reeves.
I just realized that's Keanu Reeves, right? I fucking can't. I just realized that shit's Keanu Reeves. Wow.
What's number 3? Ooh. Who voted for that one? All right, but that's a precursor, and it's showing what? We got Grux as that's the Rhino from Spider-Man. I don't know who the girl is. We got.
I think that's Twilight the vampire.
Is that Twilight
That's
Vampire?
the,
All right,
that's
listen,
the Twilight vampire.
the red eyes threw me off. We got Narbash as our own favorite ogre.
It's Aloy, bro. I think that's her name, right? Aloy?
It's Aloy, yeah.
That's a PlayStation thing. Sorry, you haven't been there in a minute. That's a PlayStation thing.
No.
PlayStation Sparrow.
What's the thing above Narbash? What's that?
That's Rocket Raccoon in a Howie suit, I think.
Okay. Nice. All right. Right. No, that's what PlayStation. What game is that? That is the Horizon Zero Dawn, right?
Horizon, yeah. The one that's supposed to be like a sparrow, I guess.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, that's okay. All right. Okay. Number 4. Her. He's probably thinking about other women. Windu. After she falls asleep, I'm gonna try another Twin Blast build.
That does not say Windu, but that is 100% accurate.
It's like, yeah. I was paraphrasing, but that's what it meant. All right.
Wow,
What's
that is
number
actually
5?
so accurate.
Bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. That is actually so accurate, bro. Like, I was like, it's 10 o'clock. Everybody's asleep. Yeah, I'm going to get back on the PC and try out some other builds, bro. I'm going to get back up.
I don't think it's fair just so you know, real quick, for when we're doing the voting, I don't think it's fair to group them together. Because what if somebody thinks that number 1 is amazing and number 3 is not good?
Well, and that's why they're randomized that way. Because right now, the way it's set up is 1 and 2 were picked by one of us. 2, 3, and 4 was picked by another person. 4 and 5, you get what I'm saying? So instead of an entire person's choices being eliminated, they're gonna have to be wise, bro. Like if their favorite one is in that pair, eliminate a different pair.
I still don't think that's the right way because, like, again, like we're trying to get rid of what the crowd thinks, the community thinks are the worst 2.
We'll tell Kick to add another 2 options so we can actually vote for 8 next time.
Just saying, we'll have a vote, eliminate 1, and then have another vote to eliminate the other one, and then here's our top 6. All right, so number 5, community fix MMR. CEO fix the MR. Is it going to do anything when you're bad like Windu? Community ? What? All right, number 6. This is my carry. This is the enemy's carry. And that's actually really funny because that was the first game of Windu versus Bearded. I was the enemy carry. That's the skin I had, and that's the skin that Windu had. It worked out actually perfectly like that. So, perfect.
Bruh, ironically, those 2 pictures are literally the exact same freeze frame in the exact same match. I just happened to zoom in to one carry and I zoomed into the other. I was like, no shot, bro. Screenshot.
Perfect. All right. What's 7?
It would be the Kari.
Kari. When the dev team discusses roadmap changes. All right. And I guess I did say community. She's community manager. So I do shout out to her as well for partaking in this as well. I do appreciate that. And then number 8, again, that's, when we got dropped with the Twin Blast skin. But then here we go. We got these recolor skins. Looking back at that. Ooh-wee. All right. So again, I think we should let chat spam a number or spam 2 numbers in chat and those two numbers are the ones we see the most of. That's gonna be the ones that we get rid of, and then we'll put the other ones in the poll. How's that sound?
If you want to do it that way, we can.
All right, chat. We need you to vote. We're voting on eliminating 2 of these. So put the 2 numbers that you want gone, and we're gonna do our best to depict the ones that we see the most of. All right. There's not a poll right now. There is not a poll active right now. We just need you guys to post a number in chat. So again, if you want number, if like say for example, you want number 1 to be gone, you don't like that one, put that one, and let's say number 7, put 1 and 7 in chat if you want those to be gone. All right, don't put the number that you think is the best. We want 2 of them gone so we can make a poll. So put those in chat. All right, so in chat right now, put a number of the 2 numbers that you think are the least favorite. All right, got a 6 and a 7 and 1 and an 8. Wait, hold on, F6, you're putting multiple numbers in here, dude. Oh, never mind. No, sorry. So we got 7 and 8, 1 and 8, 6 and 8. Okay, so far 8 definitely is not on there. All right, 2 and 8. So 1, 7, 5, 6, and 2 all have 1 vote. 8 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 votes.
See why it was easier to eliminate a pair?
No, it wasn't easier because again, you eliminate one that's really good by doing that. You could literally, especially what did you have? 6 and 8. 6 could be the winning meme, and we would vote it off because 8 was the worst.
No, so if they want 6 to win, they would just vote off 1 and 3 instead. Hello.
1 and 3 are good as well. We gotta have that vote. You gotta have them up there. Just saying. All right, come on, guys.
Majority's gonna win.
We need a couple more votes. We got 8. 8's gone. We're just gonna say 8's gone right now. So we need to vote another one off. We got 1, 5, 7, 6, and 2 all have votes. We need you to vote to get rid of 1, 7, 5, 6, or 2. We need one of them to be gone. Let us know in chat.
My low DPI scrolling through here is hilarious, bro. I'm struggling so bad.
Out of 1, 7, 5, 6, and 2, which one would you vote for them to be gone?
1, 7, 5, 6, and 2. Can you scroll those out? 1, 7, 5, 6.
I zoomed it out so you can kind of see which one is which.
Yeah, I can see them. Probably 1 and 2, to be honest with you.
Alrighty.
Because I ain't no Iggy fan.
I ain't no Iggy fan. All right. We got people putting in their votes for the same ones they already put it in for. All right.
So what am I hearing here? 3,
1 and 2. 1 and 2 got double votes. We need 1 and 2.
2 is trash. Keanu Reeves is never said.
Keanu Reeves is never said. All right. So or get 2. All right. So 2 and 8 are the ones that are gone.
Okay, I got you. That's all.
Right, so now we need a poll for 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Appreciate everybody hanging in there with us. Hindsight 2020. We'll next time we do something like this, we'll have 6 options to make the polling a little bit easier for sure.
All right, now the poll is live. We guys need you to vote for your favorite one. Again, we want you to vote for your favorite meme this time. All right, the other ones, we get rid of 2 of them. We need you to vote for your favorite one. The poll is live, so go ahead and click on that. Let's see your votes for your favorite meme in the game or on whatever we have live for Predecessor, not in the game. Maybe if who knows? Maybe if it's a good enough meme, we could get Kari to put it in the game for a loading screen.
Bro, you imagine? I would laugh my ass off if this precursor with Shrek and everything was on the loading screen, bro. Oh, I would be.
I don't
Specifically, I know
if
you're
this
going to
is-
see that one.
Yeah, if this is the one that wins, I doubt that one's going to be winning. Because
Yeah,
you
no.
obviously got to pay. You got to pay all the freaking what is that, royalties or whatever for that. Like that would not work out. But like maybe another one.
Definitely a good Twitter post though.
Okay, who is Iggy? Iggy and Scorch. Oh, Dub, you don't know who Iggy is? Oh man, you're in for a treat. Oh, then he does the laughing emote. Never mind, Hank, he knows who Iggy is. All right, so we got 3 votes for 4. We got 2 votes for 3. We got 1 vote for 6. All right. So right now, 4 is winning. Which one is 4 again, real quick? I know you're kind of
4
through whatever, but
4 is the Twin Blast laying in bed meme.
Twin Blast laying in bed. Yep, I paid Paragon for a little bit. All right. So you do know. All right. So again, don't forget to vote, guys. It is all still there. Right now, with 50% of the votes, number 4 is winning.
What's funny is the poll overlay actually hides number 1. Like in the section that we got it. But I'll do this. Bam, because nobody cares about number 2 anyway. Now it's blocking number 2.
There we go. Yep.
Yo, I'll be honest. So on a side note, guys, I really do enjoy the fact that the community has been leaning into the pred memes so hardcore. Like, shout out for people like Medkit and Joey who were like, yo, let's get this shit started. Let's get it going.
Yeah.
Instigating as fuck over there on the side. They're like, yo, Windu, you should say something about Bearded. Yo, Bearded, you should say something about Windu. Yeah. And then that shit just spiraled off and we're just like on a meme war. Like, we'll be at work typing up some shit about each other and then we'll post it, bro. It's hilarious. But I really do appreciate the fact that the community's actually gotten into it. And I look forward to seeing more memes get posted and stuff. You know, it's kind of cool.
It's great. I mean, it's dumb as hell, but it's funny. So,
bro,
I'm down.
I don't know if how many of them you've seen, Demonde, but some of these memes are hilarious.
They get posted in the work chat too. Sometimes it's fun.
Nice.
Oh, bro,
love it. All right. I mean, I was making up almost like one a day there for a little bit. Then I took some time off, and I was in chat with Windu while he was streaming one time, and Medkit's like, "Wait, you haven't made one yet today?" I'm like, "Well, okay, well, hold up, here you go." And I like made one, and I tagged him in it. I'm like, there you go, made one up real quick. So
yeah,
I enjoy it now that I know how to. I'm an old guy. I know how to make a meme now. I found out there's an app for that. Imagine there's an app for that.
Bro.
All right. Number 4 is winning now by more. We got 2 votes on 3, 4 votes on number 4 now, and 1 vote on 6. So that's 57% of the votes is on 4. So anybody who doesn't want 4 to win, we need you to vote now and get your votes in there to help take 4 down. If you want 4 to win, we need you to vote some more.
Am I reading this right? 2 out of the 3 winning options right now are Twin Blast related?
I mean, his most recent, yeah.
Bro, okay. I'm biased as hell. I don't remember who made this. We'll give him a shout out here in a second. But this Twin Blast one is absolutely hilarious. I think it was Medkit. I could be wrong, but whenever this shit got posted, well, I commented. I was like, I feel personally attacked by this shit, bro. Like, yeah.
Yep.
That was literally me for a week, minus the significant other. So I relate
yes,
to
that
that.
is. Right? Medkit, by the way. Shout out to Medkit.
Oh yeah, bro.
Hey, 4 is the winner. Good.
4 wins.
Medkit. And guys, we want. I mean, this game is going to be going on for a while. We want to continue doing these pred memes. So if you think of more, we got Lizard Guy coming up here shortly. Maybe we can get some Lizard memes coming up, whatever. But like, keep on using them. Keep using hashtag pred memes. Like Demonde said, they're getting posted in the workspace. The devs are getting a crack out of it. They're getting good time. So let's just keep the let's keep it light and friendly. And I mean, hell, you could even keep bashing Windu for being a bad ADC. That's what I do. So just have fun with it, and let's keep it up. So we will try to make this as long as we keep on getting people to add more memes to it. We'll try to make this a segment in the Predcast and try to show off some more Pred memes as we go on. Dubsteps are going to be posting some memes now. He's working on it.
Do not forget to put hashtag Predmemes, please, because I know some memes that literally did not get posted under hashtag Predmemes, or they just posted it as a comment under somebody else's post. Some of those did get lost. I'm sure that there's might be one or two that we even missed because of that. Because I clicked on the hashtag and started scrolling. So if it was on the comments, I might have missed it. So just a little heads up. Make sure that you do hashtag Predmemes wherever you post. But yeah, GG's on that.
Next week, stay tuned. We got to show off. We forgot we were supposed to do it this week too, but we'll do it next week. That one that Mad Cat made. I think it was Mad Cat. Was it Mad Cat?
Yeah, Mad Cat with the video.
The video. Yeah, the video. We got to show that off next week. That was hilarious.
That was hilarious.
Next week.
Yeah, that was a good one. He said he's going to be making a second one, by the way. So we'll see. He wanted us to watch the second one live on stream. I was like, I'm never doing that. I'm always going to watch it beforehand and make sure that we're good, bro.
Yes.
Never.
Exactly. Right. So, all right. But that concludes this Predcast. So let's go through with our outros real quick. I know it's a little bit longer than normal, but we had great conversation with Demonde, so it's definitely worth it in my opinion. So let's go through the outro the same way we got here. So Demonde, go ahead and give your little shout out to the community. Let them know where they. I mean, I don't know if you do stream or anything like that stuff, where they can find you, they can hit you up on any of the socials, whatever it is. Give them that information, and then Joey, you know how to do the outros, and we'll get then myself, then Windu.
Hey, yeah. So unfortunately, I don't do socials. So if you want to hit me up, you can hit me up on our main Discord, I guess, for Predecessor. But yeah, I want to give a huge shout out to the dev team as a whole, and specifically, the design team that I work with every day. Love you guys. Great to be a part of the company. Great to be a part of the community even. And I also want to thank you guys for giving us a platform to come on and discuss our features with you guys, because I think that's really special and it does a lot for everyone involved. So that's me.
Appreciate you being here, fam. For sure. Thank you, homie. Good talks. Joey?
Yep. And it's just me. So you know me, of course, on YouTube. I do daily uploads. I also have a Twitter page. So if you're someone that are enjoyer of Dargo memes, or even just getting to know more about me personally, then my Twitter is a great platform for me to kind of show that off a little bit.
I see, and follow his Twitter so you guys can see more pictures of him swimming, because apparently that's a new thing, right?
Yes.
Much love. And Bearded.
All right. Like I said at the beginning, I am getting back into the content creation. It's gonna be more of the shorts, TikToks, just because I don't have the time to edit down full videos right now. And I guess real quick, if you are somebody, I mean, I'm just kind of putting an olive branch out there. If you're somebody who's trying to get better at editing and you want to work with me editing, I don't have the money to pay you, but if you need some practice editing, we can work together, and I'll do that. But right now, I'm doing the editing of just like doing shorts and stuff like that and TikToks, and going from there. So if you are somebody interested in doing that, hit me up in DMs. We'll work it out. We'll see what we can do together. So you can find me on TikTok, the Bearded Wolverine. Find me on YouTube, the Bearded Wolverine. Twitter, I'm being more active with my Twitter with T_B_Wolverine. Twitter doesn't allow my name to get that big. And then you can find me on Kick. If you're not watching this live, I'm streaming there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, trying to get growing there as well. So appreciate all the support, and we appreciate all of these devs that coming out here to us, coming to us, hanging out, and giving us great information. So Demonde, again, thanks a lot for coming out tonight. It was great conversation. I'm all excited. I might have to buy my son a PS5 just so I can play with these PS5 controllers. So we'll see what we can do from there.
Well, it's gonna be clutch. I'm so excited to even use my PS5 now, because I'll be real with you, besides a single player game, like, you know, like maybe like an exclusive or something, I'll go hop on it and play. I might play some Gran Turismo here and there, but I don't really have a reason to like turn on my PS5 on a daily basis, right? I'm totally, my girl's gonna be mad. I'm putting my PS5 in the room. The moment she falls asleep, I'm gonna be like, all right, pop out the controller, let's fucking go. I got the headset on. So yeah, might get in trouble for that one. But we appreciate you, everybody tuning in. We appreciate Demonde being here as well. Guys, the amount of support that Predcast has been getting as of probably the last month or so, that shit has been nuts. Like, we've honestly been getting a lot of comments, a lot of DMs, so we really do appreciate it. And if anything, guys, always leave feedback down below in the comments. If you guys are watching this after the fact on YouTube and you made it this far, even if you're watching it live and you made it this far, please leave a GG in whatever format we're watching, live chat, comments, etc. Just a simple GG. Those of you that know, right? If you see a GG in there, it's like, all right, that's a true one. You made it to the end. Okay, I see you, okay. But yeah, we really appreciate the support, and hopefully we'll keep bringing more spicy news, you know, good conversation over to you guys. We did mention last week, just a quick little iteration. We are going to have the CEO Ace on the Predcast on a, I believe, quarterly basis was what we came to. Bearded, right?
Yes. As of right now, we're still in the works of it, but yeah,
ironing out the kinks.
The commitment we've got so far is quarterly, and again, that I say commitment, but it's like I understand that our schedule and his schedule can obviously not work together, so we might miss a quarter here or there or whatever. But as of right now, we are set up, scheduled with Robbie. And next week we have J Shreds coming on. The J Shreds is one of the devs that is working with matchmaking and what's going on there. So hopefully we'll get some more spicy information just like we got here today with Demonde, and we can go from there and we'll talk more about that. So I'm excited to have him on as well. And I know he was on your team. I did. That's the one thing that when we did our split up, I didn't get to hear Jay Shreds talk a lot. I had Demonde on my team, which was great because we were 3-0. But I didn't get to hear Jay Shreds talk a lot. But I heard there were some spicy comments made, like no work on Wednesdays or something like that. Like, so
bro,
I missed out on a lot of that. So I can't wait.
I don't know about your team.
With them last week.
Yeah, I don't know about your team. Our team was 100% trolling the whole time. Like, and everybody appreciated it because. Like when people came in and they're like, oh my god, this person, they're a dev, they're part of the team, and they just saw us like, yo, we're normal people, we're all just gaming, we're having fun, trolling, a little joke here and there, you know what I mean? So seeing that, and the fact that you guys like Demonde being able to sit here, give us, you know, information, educate us a little bit on certain aspects, even just sit here and, you know, kind of talk about cars for a little bit, like a little rant that we went in at the beginning, right? Like people see stuff like that, and I feel like people forget at times that all these developers are real people, right? Like at the end of the day, we're all just people, we're homies trying to play a game, trying to improve the game as best as we can, whether it's with feedback, whether it's actually working on it, etc. So I really do appreciate you coming out, homie. Again, Demonde, mad chill. And I definitely send you a DM. Send me that list of DualSense for sure. And as usual, guys, we appreciate y'all tuning in to the episode, and we will catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
Later.